Everyone, and welcome to a live match watching show on Football Tour Podcast. My name is Ozzie, and I'm your host for this evening. We are in very dark times. Unfortunately, it's only going to get worse unless FSG act now and replace this coach. Because for me, that's the end of the road for Arne Slot. He's simply not good enough to take Liverpool forward. We have now lost 6 Premier League games in the last 7. Quite frankly, this is relegation form. If we were any other top club, he would have been sacked by now. Now, if you're not aware, Liverpool lost 3-0 to Nottingham Forest at Anfield yesterday. So, what we'll do during the show, we'll review the match and speak in detail about what's next for Liverpool. But before I begin, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And also, I'll tell you now, I'm going to go on a bit of a rant. So, if I haven't read your comments early in the show, please bear with me. I need to let it all out. This is a therapy session for me. I pretty much need to do a monologue today. So, there's a lot to say. I'm sure you guys will want to express yourselves as well. So let me give my 2 pence, and I'll present the comments later in the show. So let's talk about the match. Now, as crazy as it sounds, we actually played decent in the opening half an hour of the game. We were moving the ball around quite nicely, playing in patterns. Gakpo opened his eyes for the first time this season and started actually passing the ball to Kirkes on the overlap. Now, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I thought maybe the pennies dropped, something has changed. They've been working on this in training, so we might be seeing a better performance from the Reds. Well, how delusional was I? Liverpool conceded the goal in the 33rd minute as Murillo smashes the ball with a low shot into the corner. Now, look, I'll be honest. If Van Dijk's goal against Man City is dismissed due to Robertson's obstruction, then it should apply with this goal as well, as Ndoye was clearly obstructing Alisson's viewpoint as well. So, as football fans, I'm not speaking as a Liverpool fan, as a football fan, all we want is consistencies from these referees. But let's forget the decision for a second, because quite frankly, we can't rely on these officials for anything. But in this goal, in this moment, our defending was poor yet again. It looked like we deployed a zonal marking strategy as we had a line of Liverpool players around the 6 yard box, but no one was really picking out uh, an opponent. So Bosley in this moment was the closest to Murillo, but his position was all wrong. He wasn't goal side on the defender, and in the end, Murillo hits the shot and gives Forest the lead. But then 2 minutes later, Igor Jesus nicks the ball away from Konate and he finishes from close range. VAR reviewed it and said it was handball. And I'll be brutally honest with you guys, we were lucky because I don't think that was handball. From the replay that I saw, it looked like he hit his shoulder or around, in between his shoulder and his chest there. So for me, um, that goal should have stood. So quite frankly, we were very lucky that wasn't given because the scoreline would have looked a lot more embarrassing than what it ended up being. But look, regardless, after conceding the first goal, it was evident that everyone's head went down and the whole team was deflated. We looked shaky at the back. Kanate was back to playing like a bozo, giving the ball away and getting pushed around like he's got no weight on him whatsoever. But he wasn't the main culprit. I'm not just gonna, pinpoint Kanate for our issues there. The whole team were a shadow of themselves. In the second half, as expected, because history will tell you the last few weeks, Stott doesn't do anything to the team tactically and brings out the same team in the first half, despite us trailing in the game. And what do? We concede in the opening minute of the second half. Poor defending from the Reds yet again, as they allowed Nico Williams inside the box to pass to the other fullback in Savano, and he finishes with a side-footed strike in the top corner to make it 2-0. Now, Slot tried to switch up after that. To be fair, he had no choice. The formation switched to a 4-4-2, where he substituted Konate for Ekitike. And before I even get into the next phase of the game, I can't lie. his reaction really pissed me off. The way he was smirking, like he just didn't give a damn about what was happening. And look, I've been one of his supporters over the years, but for me, he can jog on now. I've lost all hope for Kanate. He's been by far one of our worst players this season, and for me, does not deserve a new contract whatsoever. So if there's any talks, they better hold the brakes because it shouldn't continue. He doesn't deserve a new contract. He doesn't deserve a bumper um, contract or salary going forward. For me, he's not good enough right now. And if we had other centre back options, he wouldn't start. Unfortunately, we're in a bit of a pickle because we don't have a lot of options in that department. But look, things got bad to worse as Forest made it 3-0 through Gibbs White. Not with the best of saves from Allison, who initially parried the ball away from Hutchison's shot, but the ball went as far as Gibbs White around the edge of the box, and he pretty much placed his shot into the corner to make it 3-0. And after that, quite frankly, it was curtains for Liverpool. Now, I did a live watch along for this game, and I zoned out. And I was just going through the comments in the watch along because I was done. Mm. I had enough of the game, and my mind was made up that I'm fully slot out. I've been tinkering with the idea of the last few weeks, but I never gave in. I didn't go off with my emotions. I tried to be logical with my thoughts or my opinions because I thought, you know what, he deserves uh, respect for what he did last season. Therefore, he deserves time to turn it around. But quite frankly, I think you know the time is finished now. He's just simply not good enough to take the team forward. This wasn't the game that brought me to that decision, um, but it's one of those things where when you see things happen again and again and again, and a coach does nothing about it, that's where the problem starts. He's shown nothing whatsoever. I said it before the international break. Slot and his coaching staff have a couple of weeks to figure out a master plan or another solution. And there were rumors circulating that we were going to test out a 3-5-2 formation to accommodate Isak and Ekitike in the same lineup. That would have been, a wise thing to do. Not my first choice in terms of formation. I've been wanting to see a 4-4-2 diamond. I feel like that suits the players that we have in our squad right now. But a 3-5-2, it's not a bad way to go. It'd probably be my plan B. Plan A would be a 4-4-2 diamond. But I was still pleased to hear that he was trying to come up with a solution. He was trying to deploy a different way of playing just to get the best out of the players and hopefully try and change our luck by, getting a different run of results going forward. But what does he do? He sticks with the same formation and a questionable team selection yet again. One thing that I was very worried about before the game was Szoboszlai's position. Where does he start? Surely Armstrong wouldn't play him at right back, even though he's been our best midfielder. But what does he do? He starts Szoboszlai at right back. Like, are you kidding me? What is wrong with you? Why on earth would you place our best player this season and utilize him as a makeshift right back? You don't treat your best player in that manner. Curtis Jones, who I said in the match preview, was my choice for right back. I think he could have played that role simply because Kanate doesn't have a good passing rate all of a sudden. So if you've got Kanate and Jones on that right side of defense, at least Jones could be the progressive player by playing passes forward. It could have helped out Kanate in the regards. We also had Joe Gomez and Calvin Ramsey on the bench. Both may be inactive, but they're available. They're on the bench. So utilize them. Neither of them made a cameo in this game. Make that make sense. And then he starts Isak ahead of Ekitike. Yes, I understand. Isak needs to play in order to find form and rhythm. But this wasn't the game to start Isak. Ekitike has been in great form all season. So for me, he thoroughly deserved to start this fixture. Isak could have been an option off the bench for this fixture. And looking ahead, he could have started against PSV because it's not the game that we hold with too much importance. It's just one of many Champions League games. So for me, he got it all wrong with the team selection. To go one step further, Kirk has played ahead of Robertson in this game, who I believe Robertson has been a better player in recent weeks. Alisson returns to the lineup from his injury. Now, many fans wanted Mamadashvili to continue, and look, understandably, but I'll give Stock, 1 point on this one. I wanted Alisson in goal, so I can't stop slot in this matter there. McAllister has been woeful this season, but he still started this game. For Argentina last week, their media said that he produced one of the worst performances they've ever seen in recent times. So what's the point of having players like Endo in your squad and he can't get any minutes right now? I'm not saying he's a solution or anything like that, but you have to look at from each game. Endo would have been perfect for this type of game. Someone that gives you energy in the middle of the park, and he's going to work hard for the players around him. Because right now, no one's showing any effort whatsoever. So he would have had a different approach being in that midfield. Then we have Cody Gakpo, aka Mr. One Trick Pony. He's always starting games. Why can't Chiesa start a Premier League game? He wasn't involved in international football. He actually told Gattuso, I want to focus on my club football. So he didn't go to Italy. Otherwise, he would have been selected. So he was fully fit to start. And quite frankly, he's the only attacker, probably alongside Katika, to be fair, that has shown this season that they're willing to work, they're willing to press, and they're willing to put in a graft for this team. Then we've got young Rio, who gets on in this game in the latter stages when we're 3-0 down. What's the point of that? And why does Slot always bring on Rio when we're chasing a game? This is not the way to manage young players. You're supposed to bring young players into the first team fold when you're on top. So if you're winning 3-4-0, you bring on your young player to let him, go out there, not feel any pressure to deliver, have fun, and play a natural game. That is what you're supposed to do, young players. You don't tell a 17-year-old to get on the pitch and save the day. He's not even a first team player. Let's not beat around the bush. He's not. But he's been put into the deep end for no reason. He shouldn't be put in that position under these circumstances. Slot has shown this season he doesn't respect the youth players. That's a concern for the long term future of this club. Remember Crystal Palace? We had a bench full of kids. Didn't have any senior players to help out in that situation. He had a young squad of players on the bench, and he had a mixed match of youth and squad players in the starting lineup. So how are we going to turn things around in that game? Let's move forward. Salah, who has shown flashes of his quality in the game, has been below par this season. And I'm one of his biggest fans, but I have to say how it is. Maybe it's time to rest Mohamed Salah for the next couple of games so he's able to regain focus, fitness, and sharpness. But our manager will not have the balls to drop Mohamed Salah because he's shown that he doesn't possess great man management skills. That's where you pay the big bucks for these managers, where they can make those decisions, but not just do it in a ruthless way. Explain to the player why they're out of the team and what they need to do to return. In this matter, all he had to do was tell Salah, look, I feel like we need to manage your minutes a bit better. So we're going to rest you for the next couple of games, and then we'll get you back into the lineup. That doesn't show that he's been terrible the next 2 games. And then we'll take it from there. That was the way to go. I'm not even a football coach, but I know that's a logical way of doing things. But this manager has not shown any ounce of credibility this season, and I've had enough of him. Try to be patient, I've tried to give him the benefit of the doubt to turn things around, but he's shown nothing. He's making the same mistakes week in, week out. There's only so much credit in the bank you can have. He's won the league title. So I gave him the sort of the leeway of not going too hard on him. He gave us the league title last year, so he's got credit in the bank for me. But now he's overdrawn. He's shown so many cracks this season, and it's been quite bizarre in terms of how he's carried himself. Liverpool have had arguably one of the best transfer windows in our history, but this coach has zero idea of how to use the new players. Apart from Ekitike, none of the new signings have hit the ground running. And even with Ekitike, he's misused him in favor of starting our record signing Alexander Isak. Again, that is poor man management. As a coach, you look at the crop of players that you have in your possession, you find a system, you find a formation that will benefit a team in order to get you results. He has not done that. Instead, he's shown his stubborn approach, like a lot of modern day coaches do, to be fair. After our win against Frankfurt, we won 5-1. He changed the formation to a 4-4-2. He said something along the lines that, oh, it's not the way I want my team to play, but we got the result. So that shows me he's fixated on his own methodology and he isn't willing to adapt to make new changes or make alterations in his tactics in order to benefit the team. You look down the history of all the top managers that we've seen in the Premier League, for example. They all change their tactics regularly to help gain maximum points. When we appointed Slot, one of his infamous quotes from the first training session that he had was, "Kill them with passes." Well, he's killed this team because we can't string any passes together. We have no identity whatsoever. I thought we were a possession team. Well, clearly not. We're not a counter pressing team um, because we don't press from the front. So we're just a team that turns up and hopes for the best with no game plan. As silly as this may sound, I believe this job is too big for his boots. And this season, he's shown that he's not at the level that we expect. He's been blessed with all of what to do with this squad. Rather than come up with a strategy for this team, he tells the whole world our weaknesses. He tells the media that we can't handle teams that play the low block and play long balls. And we don't have the facility. We don't have a solution for that. Like, are you dumb or stupid? Why would you say that so publicly? When we appointed Slot last season, I said it quite a few times. I didn't like the way he was so open in terms of his communication with the media. Like we've had Klopp over the years, he would never be so pally pally with the media. And I remember one moment where we beat United, and he went on TNT Sports in the post match interview and revealed the whole blueprint, sorry, that we used to beat United in that game. Like he revealed every tactical announce. Like, why would you do that? Yes, we've beaten a team, so yes, you know how we beat the team. But the way you dissected our tactics, you've just given the game plan in terms of what to expect from a Liverpool point of view. Like when it comes to the media, you need to play the game. You can't be an open book. I'm sure a lot of us work in corporate environments. You can't be completely yourself in those kind of scenarios. You have to be a bit smart in terms of when to say certain things. You need to know how to communicate and you need to, play the game to an extent. And he's made some sly comments about the players. Um, that for me, I slightly uncomfortable. I know he said something about Szoboszlai the other day, tongue in cheek type of joke about him not qualifying, all that sort of stuff. But another thing that really sticks to my mind is Federico Chiesa. Chiesa received Player of the Month quite recently, and when he was asked about it, Slot said, "Oh, I'm very surprised that our fifth choice striker won this award." Was there any need to say it in that manner? You could have spun it and said, "We are blessed with a number of attackers in our squad. So it shows our quality. And Kian has been fantastic for us this month. And long may it continue." Say something like that. Say something that will encourage your squad because you've just praised the attackers as a collective. And you've also given a shout out to Kiesa. So you've given him a boost of confidence. But you've done the polar opposite. So the way he's carried himself this season in press conferences, I don't know what it is. I might be looking at it too much now. There's a touch of arrogance. Like, yes, we are Premier League champions, but mate, we've lost 6 out of 7 in recent times. So what are you arrogant about? I said it a few weeks ago. I think he's lost the dressing room. These players are not playing for the coach anymore. They're not fighting the battle. Whenever we concede a goal, everyone's head is dropping. Remember when Klopp used to call his team mentality monsters? Remember that phrase? That's a myth to this current squad. We have no mentality. We have no desire. We have no urgency or application in our play. We are playing with an empty tank. And this is a psychological battle for these players. So for me, there is no other option but to dismiss Onslaught. We need a resurgence, and that's not going to come from this current coach and his staff. We need someone to come in and literally rejuvenate the squad, bring that good feel factor back to the club. One of the reasons why I haven't publicly said slot out in the last few weeks is because I didn't really have a manager in mind that I felt like could come in and make an instant difference at the club. But at this stage, losing to Nottingham Forest was the last straw. I did not expect us to come to Anfield and get moved to by Forest. Gibbs White says afterwards that they were comfortable throughout the whole game. That's a slap in the face. So if teams are coming over and, treating it like a training session, that is a big problem. So I think the club is forced, if they haven't done already, to write up a list of potential coaches that can come and replace Arne Slot. Because this is not good enough. It really isn't. Now, in terms of potential names, tomorrow we'll do a show and we'll discuss potential candidates who could be potential candidates or potential managers that we could line up to replace Slot. But right now, FSG need to be strong and make that call because I'm hearing rumors that he'll be given until January to fix these issues. For me, that's ridiculous. And we're wasting time with this coach. FSG need to be real businessmen and show that they can be cutthroat when it comes to making these decisions. And for me, they need to act fast. They need to act, prompt right now. Quite frankly, we are in the mud and it can't get any worse. People always say, "Oh, this manager is not good enough," blah, blah, blah. But the thing is, no one is responding to this coach. They're not responding to him at all. So it can't get worse. If we get someone that is not good enough, the results will be the same. We'll still lose. But I feel like people aren't responding to Slot anymore. So because of that, we might as well change the coach right now. And I don't think he's good enough anymore to take this team forward. But hey, that's just my opinion. That's my my rant over. Um, I've had 24 hours to think about it, and I'm still fuming about this game. I'm so annoyed with the way it panned out. I was really hoping that we'd turn things around or just to deploy a different tactic. But every week he gets things wrong. Every week the team selection is not right. So we've got a lot of work to do. And the funny thing is, our run of fixtures in the upcoming weeks, on paper, they're not the most difficult games. But I don't know where our next win is going to come from. I really don't. I'm not even trying to sound over the top here. I really can't see it. Yeah, dark times for us Liverpool fans. Just gonna go through some of the comments here. Uncle Rods, he says, hey bro, big up Uncle Rods as always. Thank you for your comment and thank you for tuning in. Guys, please make sure to subscribe to Uncle Rods' channel. Wayne, big up Wayne, says, big up Ozzy. Don't forget with the PGMOL, it's one rule for us and a different one for the rest of the teams. That is facts, Wayne. Couldn't have said it better. That is facts. It is literally we have one rule and everyone else has different rules. I genuinely believe that. So yeah, you're not speaking anything out of order there. That is facts. Nick says, big up, Nick. Hope you're well. Double D, big up Double D as always said, took the energy and pressing ability out of the midfield. Scandalous. Could have played Ramsey. This is what I'm saying. If he didn't feel confident about starting him, I understand to an extent, but you could have still played him at some point in the game because things weren't working for us. And it wasn't like their left midfielder was, running rights or anything like that. We had Sabozlai and we had Jones in midfield. There were parts of the game where they were interchanging. So I don't know why that was. It should have just been, one's a defender, one's a midfielder. But it added a bit of confusion in terms of play as well. So for me, midfield, like it has all season, has looked very, very disjointed. But he's not. He's not doing like. I know he's not his cup of tea, but Endo would have helped us in this game because of his approach. He's not a technician, but he's a grafter. We need someone in that midfield that's going to work hard. That's a pit bull. That's going to try and close up shop. We need someone there because McAllister is not doing any of that. He's got no legs right now. Let's be honest. He doesn't have that in him anymore, or he hasn't shown it this season. So yeah, no energy and no pressing from the front. When you're pressing from the front, that literally sets the tone for the whole team. So if our attackers are lethargic and not even chasing the ball, what's going to happen when it comes to the middle of the park? They're going to be taken back and they can't react in that way. This coach doesn't know what he's doing. He really doesn't. Nick says, just give the title to Arsenal. City also glitch. Yeah, the title's heading to North London. It's obvious. As hard as say out loud it is, it's their title. There's no way. Some people say mathematically we can go for a title race. There's no way we're gonna challenge for the title. No way. I don't care who we sign in January. It doesn't really matter. The damage has been done so far. Um, Alexander, big up, so it's a big up, bro. Mid-table season horror. Yeah, unfortunately, you might be right. If it's mid-season vibes, I never would have envisioned that after winning the Premier League last season. And especially with the summer we had, I thought, oh, we're going strong. We're acting like a big club. We're going to go back to back. And that wasn't even me talking with arrogance or cockiness. Just look at the players that we're bringing in, thinking, oh, there's something here. We're signing top players here. It's not like Liverpool. If we just gone back to just signing unknown players, because they would have done a better job. That's what it comes across now, honestly. Too long. Big up yourself to slot out. Yeah, I'm slot out. I've been saying it, but I haven't been saying it with chest for the last few weeks just because I thought, you know what, let me give this coach some time to turn it around. But when someone's doing the same old thing week in, week out, I can't back it anymore. You can't. So yeah, I'm slot out as well. Ozan, big up Ozan as always. He says, I'm embarrassed, Ozzy. Likewise, my friend. Likewise, I'm embarrassed as well. Abdul, big up Abdul as always. He says, football is performance and results. Losses. Palace Charity Shield loss. Palace 2-1. Galatasaray 1-0. Chelsea 2-1. United 2-1. Brentford 3-2. Palace 3-0. City 3-0. Forest 3-0. Slot out. Look at the teams in that list there. Palace have beaten us twice. Galatasaray, yeah, the home advantage is there. So, European games, it can go either way. Chelsea at that stage weren't great. Of course, they've improved since then. United, I don't care what anyone says, they're they're terrible. So for us to lose to United was pure embarrassment. It really was. Brentford walked all over us. I know it says 3-2, but that's just because we had some good late moments in the end. But they could have had a lot more goals. In fact, even the Palace game, the 2-1, you know, that was a game where they performed better. But even the other Palace game as well. I don't think it was the I think there's one scoreline missing here, but the one in the Premier League, they could have demolished us like 5-0 in the first half. And then we lost to them in oh sorry, that is the one you're referring to. The 3-0 one. That one should have been about 5-6-0. So I was thinking about the Carabao Cup. Palace have just been running riot on us this year. The City one, look, City are a strong team. They're not the strongest team of the last few years, and you can always lose. It's not about losing. It's about how we're losing. We got scored in that game. They didn't come out of second gear, and that's what concerns me. We were on a high from that Real Madrid result, and then boom, back to the ground, KO to the ground. That's what it felt like. We were jabbing away, we were making some good moves, and then bang, out of nowhere, we got smacked in the mouth and we're on the floor. That's what that result felt like. And the Forest one, we got up and we got smashed on the floor again. It's outrageous. We're not improving at all. We're going backwards. We're digressing as a team. How can this squad of players digress? And that's why I'm saying we have to change coach. Because anyone else that comes in, I feel like they can make it work. New ideas or new voice in the changing room, new direction, new leadership. That's what's going to get these players on board. So it's going to be interesting, what the club does. But right now, I'm telling you guys, I want a coach to be changed very, very soon. But I don't think it will happen. I think they'll give him a few weeks, and then before Jan, they'll make that decision. But I feel like why make it worse? 6 out of 7 in the Premier League. I'm not even talking about all competitions because there's a lot more defeats on that path there. 6 out of 7 is diabolical. It really is. You look. That's never been associated with Liverpool. 6 defeats on the bounce, or 6 out of 7. Oh, make that make sense. Rodrigo, pick up Rodrigo. Says slot out, sack that ball forward now. He literally took us from believers to doubters. Yeah, I definitely doubt him now. So you are not wrong there, my friend. You are not wrong. Abdul says, Arne Slot this season alone is unacceptable. Teams know how to play against us. That's because he revealed the blueprint. He told everyone how to beat us. Long balls, low block. Simple as that. And we don't have the solution because Slot only has one way of playing. He doesn't change. And when he does make little tweaks, he's like, I didn't like the way we played. We got the result, but I didn't like the way we played. So that's the problem there as well. This coach is stubborn. Ozan says, Irola for me. He's a potential candidate. I don't know if he's the one though. Like, there's always certain coaches where I feel like he can definitely change it for us. Slight, slight reservations on Irola for me. Just because of the way Bournemouth play, they don't play with high possession. They're more of a sort of a counter-attacking team. They play good football, really quick on the counter. But does he have the coaching ability to manage a big team or manage these type of players and play that brand of football? I'm not too sure. That would be my reservation. But he's definitely a name. He's definitely a name on the list. Abdul says conceded 10, conceded 20 is unacceptable. Yep, that is true. Fozzie big up Fozzie pulled the cord, man. Oza says we are the laughing stock of not just England but the world. Yeah, I hear you. Oza says San Marino. I'm factoring us flipping us. San Marino, those jokes. Abdul with the comment says Kirkes, Frimpong, Leone, Isak, Verts, and Ekatike. Questionable signings and offloading is questionable. His tactics, style of play, and system are questionable slot out. I'll be honest with you, Abdul. I'm not gonna just change my tune, but I do feel like these signings were not bad signings. I really don't. We're just not playing these players to their skill set. Kerkez was playing as an overlapping fullback. In Liverpool colours, he's playing inverted, but then he's got a wing in front of him that does not see him, like he's John Cena. Like literally, he doesn't see him on the pitch. So that's a problem right there. Frimpong, whenever he's played, he's looked all right to me, but he's injured, which is very strange because during his career at Leverkusen, he barely got injured. So that's just a bit of bad luck there. Leone only made one appearance, but looked really strong, really solid against Southampton. Fortunately, he's out for another year with an ACL injury. So that's just bad luck. Isak, look, I've been screaming Isak's name for months. That's the guy I wanted at the club. But unfortunately, all that drama in the summer is paying the price. Him going AWOL, him refusing to train, him refusing to go out pre-season with the Newcastle team. He was inactive for 2 months. And then when he slowly found a bit of fitness, he got injured. So that's been an issue there. And Ekitike for me has been a silver lining. I think he's done really well. I've watched him for the last couple of years. I thought, he's really good, but he's literally adapted so well. And he's just been a bit unlucky that we've got Isak in the squad because obviously he was signed before Isak, and now he's being used on a rotational basis, which for me is not deserved. Um, I feel like even with a tactical tweak in terms of formation, all of these players could have worked well together. But he's not planning on doing that. That's the problem there. Musa, big up Musa. He says Iola and Glasner should be top two contenders, but would they leave their club because both of them are higher than Liverpool? I hear you in terms of the position of their teams in the league right now, but this is Liverpool Football Club. This is just a poor run of games or a poor moment that we're having this season. This is not normally Liverpool. We don't normally lose 6 out of 7 games. We're not this terrible as a collective. I just feel like the coach has just run out of ideas and is not the guy that we thought he was. So we have to make changes. That's how I'm looking at it. So anyone that comes in, I feel like can rejuvenate the squad and change the outlook of this team. So the two names you mentioned, they're very popular names amongst the fan base. I'm not hugely convinced by either of them. But then again, there aren't many options out there. The best case scenario would be to get someone on the interim and then next summer, you know, find the guy that we want us to take the team forward. You've got the likes of Nagelsmann, who is a popular name out there as well. You've got Luis Enrique, who is on his last year of his contract, but I'm sure that will get extended. So I don't think that's a realistic option. But there are names out there. It's just that, like you mentioned with these two, they're all at their respective clubs right now. So would they want to jump ship right now? If Liverpool is serious and they really pinpoint someone as the guy to come in, they'll have to pay that compensation, to those clubs. It has to be done. So it depends who they view as the long-term successor now. Who meets all the data metrics in their system. That's what's going to come down to. So, but as football fans, in terms of what we can see and what we are aware of in terms of the current climate in football, without the data metrics that these guys have in the analytics teams, um, no one's standing out for me like that. But I could be wrong, and maybe someone present a name. I'm thinking, do you know what? That could be the guy. Lee says, "Big up, Reds. Big up, Lee. I hope you're doing well." Abdul says Arne has his favorite and loyal players that aren't playing well. He always plays them, and with the same style of play, we are losing. Yeah, Gakpo comes to mind in that regards because I feel like Chiesa deserves to at least start a few games, but he's never been given that opportunity. McAllister, another one this season, has not been Mac 10. He's not been that guy for us. So he shouldn't be starting games. He should be in rotation, in my opinion. And those should be getting more minutes ahead of him. Because, when it comes to playing during the season, it's not about playing your best 11 on paper all the time. Sometimes you got to look at the opponent. Sometimes you got to switch things around. If players aren't playing to their best or they're out of form or they're not, fit enough, rotate the squad, give the minutes to the squad players that aren't playing week in, week out. That way you keep them active. You maintain their sharpness to a certain level. But he's not doing that. He's just picking his favorite 11 all the time. Like that's just like very simplistic. That's what you do when you're playing football games on your PlayStation. That's what we do when, as fans. As a coach, you gotta think a bit more broader in that way. Look at Pep Guardiola. Rotates his squad all the time. One of the best coaches in world football. Take a leaf out of his book. Abdul says Arne won't change it at all. He needs to go. He's clueless and stubborn-headed coach. Yeah, I'm seeing it more now, more so than not. Abdul said we need centre back, DM, and wingers. We need a new manager before that, my friend. We need a new manager. That's a priority. I'll be honest with you. That's a priority. You are right. I'm not saying you're wrong. You are right. We definitely need a centre back. I'll probably say we need two, but I'm being a bit greedy there. A DM, yes, but I don't think that'll happen until the summer because we would have probably earmarked a player like Adam Walton, just to throw a name out there, but he wouldn't be available in January, so that's someone you have to wait for in the summer. And the wingers look like it could be Semenyo, that could be someone that can come in, but we're in competition to get his signature as well. So it's not going to be an easy road for us to just sign players like that. Abdul with the comment says Arne can't get the best out of these players. No, he can't. And the funny thing is, it was not funny, but what I've noticed as well is that whenever players come off the bench, there's no impact at all from any of them. So when you're looking at it, it actually doesn't even matter who starts. They're all playing with very low morale. And when you got a squad that are, low in confidence and don't have faith in the coach when it comes to their tactics or the way the team is set out, the coach is the problem there. It's so obvious. That is the problem. One of Klopp's best quality was that he was a motivator. Like he really uses energy, his enthusiasm, his aura, his personality to galvanize the squad, especially when they were going through poor form or poor run of results. I don't see that personality in this coach. I don't see that fire in his belly. He's very arrogant in the way he talks sometimes in press conferences. But why is he so arrogant? We've lost 6 out of 7 games. You can't be that arrogant. Like, know your place. You are acting like a relegation manager right now. Find a solution. You've got coaches behind you for a reason. You're not a one-man band. You've got a team of coaches around you. Come up with a solution. Because us fans can provide these solutions. We're not qualified to be coaches. But why do we know it? Why do we see different systems and different formations that could work? It's ridiculous. Ozzie finally said the 2 words. Yeah, for me, this was the last straw. It really was. And I've been close to saying it, as you probably know, Zen, for the last few weeks, but I thought I'd just give him the benefit of the doubt. Coming into Liverpool Football Club after Jurgen Klopp and winning the league title, for me, you deserve a bit of time to turn things around. But no, not for me, unfortunately. Abdul, the comment says teams are bullying us and physical against us. It's a walk in the park for these teams against us. That's the problem there. They're not scared of Liverpool, home or away. They're not scared. They're like, we'll walk past these guys. We're literally playing with like 10% battery. Each player is playing to that level. So what can they do? They can't run around. Got no energy. Got nothing in the tank. Yeah. Honestly. One and Pish Skills because so says I'll take Glasner in a heartbeat. Seems a real student of the game. It's definitely a name up on the list. I definitely agree with you on that. I just don't know if he's certified to be the one to come in. That's just the thing I'm seeing right now. The formation he plays for Palace could actually work for us. I feel like our crop of players could fit that formation. He's definitely named. The thing that would give him an advantage other on other names, sorry, is he has a bit more experience in comparison to your Iraolas, for example. And that could, work to his advantage. But on the flip side, he was the manager that blocked that Margay move as well. So if that signing had been made, maybe I'm not saying Gay would have solved our problems. I'm not saying that. But we would have seen less of Konate and it would have helped our defense. That's what I'm saying in that regards. So first sour grapes there for my part, like he messed us around on that last day because he gave them an ultimatum that is our, if they sell him, he's leaving. Like that was what was given to the Crystal Palace board. So I don't like the way he acted there. I get it from his point of view, but I'm talking from a Liverpool point of view. That didn't work well for me. So yeah. But in terms of his credentials, he's definitely a name on the list. I can't deny that at all. Something interesting maybe is just saying, ah ha ha, useless. Wayne says when Bert signed, he said the main reason he came was the tactical vision Slot had and talked about with him. What must Verts be thinking now? In the last few games, he played left wing, right wing, number 10, and false 9. Spot on again, Wayne. How can you sign a player and say, yeah, you're the guy, you're going to be the number 10, you're going to be the almost the talisman of this team because we're going to try and build a team around your number 10. And like you said, he's been a makeshift player. How's he going to find rhythm? How's he going to adapt to the Premier League, playing in different roles? Got to utilize his skill sets to the way we play. And he is a number 10. We play a 4-2-3-1 formation. Play him in that number 10 role. Simple as that. But then he's been turning around playing in different positions all the time. So it's annoying because I'm going to say out loud, if Klopp was manager, oh gosh, this team would tick. It really would. Now, I'm not saying I want Klopp to come, which sounds really weird because I rate Klopp a lot, but I don't think he would take the role on an interim basis. He may do just due to the love of the club, but I would like the club to just have an alternative person to be the long term solution rather than having a stop start solution. But they may have someone in mind, but he might not just be available. So you got to look at both options. So can't rule Klopp out either. But Klopp would get the best out of these players. He really would. Verts in a Klopp system, come on now. That would work. Chiesa is a Klopp player. If we were to sign Semenyo, he's a Klopp player. Isak under Klopp. Yeah, let me stop. I'm getting too excited now. A lot of these players will work in a Klopp system. Let's just say it like that. Abdul says we are going out of FA Cup and UCL with this head coach. I'll be honest with you, Abdul. The FA Cup, I don't really care about the FA Cup this year. Champions League is the only kind of alternative that I have where I feel like the way we play it could suit the European game and maybe we can progress there. But we're not playing at a high level. So that's still the concern for me going forward. Yeah. I feel like we just gotta qualify for top four. That has to be the aim. Now. If we are not in the top four next season, that can have a huge effect on this. football club altogether, financially and possibly, in terms of the squad. Some players might want to walk away. Rodrigo, with his comment, says there is no style of football, no intensity anymore, no desire. Obviously, Slot lost the dressing room, and it's a matter of time until they sack him. We need a proper manager as soon as possible. Hope Klopp comes back. Yeah, I hear you into everything you've said there. I just don't know if they'll sack him. That's the problem there. Like I voiced my opinion, and you guys are voicing yours as well, and we seem to be on the same page here. But I don't think they will. Not anytime soon. Uncle Ross says, Ozzy, is this a call in? Yes, it is. I don't know. I can't remember if I've added a link. What I'll do now, I'll add a link. If you're still around, Uncle Ross, you are welcome to come on. Let me just add a link in the chat. I thought I did, but if I haven't, apologies. I'll add the link right now. And yeah, let me go through some of these comments. And if you're still around, I'll get you on very, very shortly because I can see there's a lot of comments here. Um, so yeah, bear with me, everyone. So I want to try and let everyone have their say today. So I will go through all of the comments. Uh, okay. So I have posted a link. If I can pin it, that might be even better. So let me try and do that for you now. There we go. So I've pinned the link. So yeah, if you'd like to call in, and that's not just for Uncle Roz, that's for everyone else in the chat as well. You are welcome to come on and yeah, use the show as a therapy session. No, the floor is yours, literally. So yeah, feel free to come on. Once I get through the comments, of course. Uh, Squiggle, big up yourself. It says, nah, slot out is crazy. He won us Premier League first season. Managers always need time. Need something about badly. Mark Gay, hopefully. Mark Gay in January. I hear you, Squiggle. I was in that same kind of viewpoint a few weeks ago. For me, the Forest result, it was the last straw. I just feel like it can't get worse. Boy, it can't, literally can't. I feel like we're in rock bottom right now. And that's why I feel like a changing coach might be needed, to be fair. Waiting for the comments that if our form continues and sort of does go, will we get any players in Jan? So I mentioned this last week. I don't think Slot has too much of a say when it comes to signings. Yes, he's part of the conversation and he would definitely give his viewpoint, in terms of what players will work and all that sort of stuff. But ultimately, they're already doing the recruitment process in the background. So you're hearing talks about Semenyo. That's going to happen with Slot here or not, in my opinion. If he wants to join Liverpool, he will come in January. Mark Gay, possibly the same thing as well. So I think players will come. Um, but that's why it's important about finding the right appointment as well. If it was Klopp, then I think everyone will jump on board. So, let's see where we go in terms of the direction. But I feel like we need to change coach very, very soon, to be fair. Wayne says to Swiggle, if Slot's still here, it won't matter who comes in, it won't save us. Yeah. Swiggle says Slot won us the Premier League in his first. This is his first bad spell. He's inexperienced in the Premier League and Champions. They'll come in from Dutch league. He won us the Premier League, like you said in the previous comment. So for me, you've just had a crash course to gain that experience. So there's no reason why you could fall this bad. Like, then you question his quality as a coach. Was it a fluke? I don't want to be rude, but was it a fluke? Was it that he inherited such a great squad from Klopp That all he had to do was just take the keys and just drive. Was that all it was needed? That's the question there. Are we seeing the real onslaught this season? That's what I feel like we are, because he's showing a lot of liability in his coaching, in terms of how he's managing the squad. You can't have such talented players and fold the way we have. Like, we've got Isak in our squad, guys. Isak, arguably one of the best strikers in the league. The real gunman. Like, if you asked any of us 12 months ago, which striker do you want in your squad? I'm sure 90% would have said Isak, because he was that guy. Whenever he played against us, he bullied us. But he's a Liverpool player, and look, he's a shell of himself. Of course, there's a lot of factors in terms of his fitness, his, you know, not having a preseason. Of course, it does add up. But then you're not managing the other players around you. Ekatike, he's come and done a great job, but you're not helping in that regards either. So, I can't buy that he's inexperienced in the Prem. That's not a good enough reason for me. He's won the league title. He did the crash course last year. He got the experience. So how can you say otherwise? So I'm sorry, I can't fully accept that comment there. Um, Costas says, haha, slot out. You were the same supporter saying last year slot ball. We were, we were, but things change in football. That's how it works. Um, Plastic fans, I said last year you have to have guts to kick a coach that wins league titles. I won't call us as plastic fans. We're just seeing how it is. 6 defeats out of 7. Are you telling me we don't have a reason to crash out? Come on now, let's not be stupid. So he says, honestly, this is the first bad spell. Look, let me put it into context. Hodgson and Rodgers didn't have this kind of bad spell, and they were arguably one of our worst managers in recent history. So why are we giving Arne Slot the free pass to just get along? Like I said, a few weeks, I'm willing to give him time, but I need to see improvements. I need to see slight tweaks in tactics or formations or systems. He's not done any of it. It's the same thing week in, week out. And guess what? You're going to get the same results. We're losing. It's not even touched December yet, and we're already out of the title race. We're 11th. When are Liverpool 11th? Come on. We can't do that. Come on now. Wayne says to Swiggle, what do you see from him? The thing that makes you think he could turn around. So Squiggles responds to the fact that he won the Premier League last. But then, like I said to you earlier on, that might have been a fluke. He inherited the great squad from Klopp, but then he was given a war chest. Like I've used this analogy quite a bit in the last few weeks. Last year he was driving a Range Rover, got a few compliments, got a Ferrari this year, but he doesn't know how to drive a supercar. He's got that kind of caliber of players in his squad. How can you tell me he can't manage world class players? Because for me, Isak is world class. For me, Verts is world class, but he can't fit them in the team. Like that doesn't make sense. That's not logical in my opinion. So I don't know. I've had enough. I might be going over the top, but I've had enough now. Like I've tried to be patient with the manager. For me, I've lost the patience now. And you guys know I'm patient, but for me, I can't say anything further than that. Um, he won a Premier with fixed team. Oh, you mean fixed team from Klopp? Yeah, but then that's probably what I'm saying. He might have fluked it. Squiggle says, how can you sack a man who came in and won us a Prem pretty comfortably? Then when he's on the bad spell of form, you want him out. 6 out of 7 defeats. 6 defeats, not 6 draws. 6 defeats. How is that acceptable for Liverpool Football Club? 6 defeats. Put that in your brain. And we're only in November. That's not acceptable. We didn't even lose 6 games last season in our whole Premier League campaign. So how can you say otherwise, We also different tactics from Klopp. All right, I've got a couple of guys in the back. Let me bring them on because we'll go through the comments later on. 'Cause I feel like it's the same theme. People back in slot here. So let me bring them on. Let me bring on Uncle Rod.
Yeah, man. What's going on? What's going on? Let me get pick up this thing here.
Coming on,
Yeah,
guys.
man. What you
Please.
say?
We're ganging up, man. We're ganging up.
Really?
We
Listen. Fuzz. Yeah, I'm gonna go out and come back in. I'm gonna get my laptop. Yeah. Give me 2 minutes. Yeah.
No worries,
Okay.
bro. Take your time. No worries. Ozzy, talk to me, man.
Bro, what's going on, man? Even the positive people have had enough. We've all had enough, man. You know what I mean? There's nothing to be positive about. I don't know what me staying up. I've got to wake up, at 5 o'clock. So me staying up for one more hour, you know what I mean? It says a lot for me.
Yeah,
Bro, I'm done, bro. I'm done.
yeah,
I can't sit through this shit anymore. I gave him one more chance, which was after
yeah,
the international football to change things. And he comes back and plays midfielders at fullback and centre back again. You know what I mean?
yeah.
He doesn't want it, bro. A real
Mm,
manager changes things. A real manager galvanizes the squad together. A real manager
yes.
does man management in the best ability possible. And this guy, like, how can you go from a champion and
Yeah,
completely wash away what we did last season and to this rubbish we're watching now? And people are sitting there saying it's okay. It's not okay. We're 11th in the league, guys. Like, what do you need, like, to know this is not right? Do you actually know Liverpool Football Club? Do people actually know what we're all about? You keep
yeah,
bringing up Bill Shankly quotes. Bill Shankly is not a loser. Neither is Bob
exactly.
Paisley. Neither is Joe Fagan. Neither is Kenny Dalglish. These are winners. And this is what this club is built on, winning. 11th. We improved the squad. We added quality with quality. And we're
Yeah,
11th. And it's okay. Ah, man. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Pull the cord, man. Pull the cord and or cut it open or something, mate. Because
yeah,
it's not gonna get any better, guys. I swear to you. When we're losing 6 games in the Premier League, and all those 6 games we've been behind. Has anyone noticed that? A goal
yeah,
behind. And then we
yeah,
lost every game. Even we got an equalizer in some of them. We still lost those games. So
yeah,
people need to wake up to this, bro. He hasn't got the minerals, man. He's got no man management style. The players are not even playing for him. But yeah,
yeah.
some are defending this, Ozzy.
That's my concern there. Like, it's the application from the players, and that comes from the coach. That comes from the way he sets the team, the way he motivates the team. I don't think, like you said, I don't think the players are playing for him. I said it a few
No.
weeks ago. He's lost the dressing room because you can't be out on the pitch and let's say you concede a goal. Of course, every team concedes a goal. It's just part and parcel. But it's the mentality to respond to be like, you know what? Let's fight. Let's
Yeah.
try and get on top.
Yeah.
There's no fight. There's no energy. There's no desire in this team. But that comes from the coach. Players can feel deflated due to whatever reason. But the coach is his responsibility. He's the leader of the group. He needs to speak to these players and say, look, guys, we got to do this, we got to do that. But my problem is that he's playing players that are out of form and he's forcing them in the lineups.
Yeah.
Like he's not got the balls to, like you said, to make those big decisions when it comes to man management. Like, you, if Salah's not having a good game, he's not indispensable. He can
Yeah.
be dropped 1 or 2 games. It's just the
Facts.
way you speak to him. You can come and say, look, I'm trying to manage your minutes, but I'm going to rest you for a couple of games, and then you can come back in the lineup.
Yeah.
There's a way of speaking to your players. He's not saying you're rubbish and I don't want you to play anymore. There's a way of communicating. So this is just like, one-on-one management skills, to manage your crop of players. But he's not showing any of that. And the way he
Mm.
talks in the media, he really, really pisses me off. The
Oh,
way he just tells the
Some people say that it's a game. He's playing a game with the media. I said, no, he ain't. There's no
no, he's
way.
not.
When you play games like what Klopp used to do, he makes you think
Yeah,
one thing. He does the opposite. That's what they think
yeah.
he's doing. But do you think he's doing that?
He's so transparent. It's unbelievable. He's so like he's not playing. There's no mask. It's literally what you see is what you get. He's revealing all the cards. He's telling us we're rubbish. We can't do with long balls. We can't do with low blocks, and we don't have a solution. That's what he said out loud. When we beat Frankfurt, he was like, "That's not the way I want my team to play." But we got the result. So for me, that shows that he's very stubborn. He only has one way of playing, and because of that, if it doesn't work, he's not going to change, and
Yeah.
that's a concern for me. Look at all the great coaches over the years; they've always tweaked their squads or tweaked their teams, even on a game-to-game basis. They don't always play the same way. Look at your Fergusons, your Mourinho's; they never play the same way every game.
I hope he's there.
What's the point of having all of these coaches
You keep cutting
to
out,
do
bro.
that, to do the research of your opponents? What's the point of having them? Then he can just be a one-man band and just put out the team like that. If that's how football works, that is not how football works. You have a team of people to do the research, but how to play against a certain team, and you make tweaks.
Yeah.
But he's got one way of playing, and this year I don't know what it is. I might be looking to a bit too much. The way he talks, it's got a bit of arrogance about him. But why are you arrogant? Why are you so arrogant the way you
Because he
talk?
won
Like
the
you've
league,
lost
innit?
six out of
Because he won the
seven.
league. Yeah.
Oh,
Because
fuck,
he
you
won
got
the league.
Bro,
lucky with that one, mate.
that medal is out. It's a new season now. That's the past now. We're in a new campaign. You can't think like that anymore. So for me, I feel like with all the signings we've made, this is something I never saw coming. I feel like for me, cocky. I thought it was back-to-back titles, but he doesn't know how to use his quality players. And there's some coaches where they have that underdog mentality, or they have players that are limited in terms of their ability. They know how to use those type of players. But when you've got the creme de la creme, the luxury players, the real elite players, one, that he might not know how to fit them in the system, and two, he might not know how to manage egos, because they all got egos. They all
Mm.
want to start games, and that's the concern for me. So I don't know, man. I've been patient. I've been saying it for a few weeks, as you guys probably know. I've said, let me give him a bit of time. He's got credit in the bank because he brought that title home. Let me give him some time. But the Forest result, for me, it's a wrap. He's done now.
You know what it is, guys? Like, football's a simple game if you want it to be simple, innit?
Mm.
It depends how you rotate the squad and utilize the squad. This guy, he's not even doing that. That's what I keep telling people. We're not changing, guys. We're the same every game that we play. And then I ask a simple question to all of you here. I'll ask the chat and you guys here. What is our style of play?
It's that deep one.
I couldn't tell you, mate. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. You see what it is? What it is? What I see is one catastrophic mistake after another. Do you know what I mean? With Arne Slot. I'm gonna say for now, I've always been a slot out. Do you know what I mean? I didn't want him in the club in the first place. Do you know what I mean? I just think at the end of the day, we needed somebody with a bit more oomph, a bit more of a win mentality to take over from Klopp. Do you know what I mean? He's here, right? You look at the sort of like the 6 games that we lost this season. They all got something in common. Do you know what I mean? Whenever we went 1 goal down, we never looked like getting back into the game. We never looked like getting back in the game. And he didn't know what to do to get back into the game. Do you understand what I'm saying? At least under Klopp now, if we went 1-0 down, he would have a good go at least to get a point out of it. Do you know what I mean? Or if he lost, he probably lost 2-1. Remember that game that we played against Man City?
Mm.
And I think we lost 2-1. And this is when they had Leroy Sane and that. Leroy Sane was, he was a good player at that time. But anyway, what it was, we went 1 goal down, but we fought and we fought and we fought to get a goal. We put this pattern of play together. It must have been about 20 passes we put together, and it ended up with a goal. Do you know what I mean? That's the fight we had in us. Then, obviously, Leroy Sane scores the second goal, and, we lose 2-1. But the fact was, the reason why I was proud of my guys that night, my boys that night, because they fought, and they tried to win the game, and just wasn't their night. If I saw any fight in this team, I wouldn't feel so bad. Do you understand what I'm saying? But there's no fight in this team. You understand what I'm saying? You're taking off Kanate, and everybody's on Kanate's case, and they right. But I could have picked 10 people out that team yesterday that had a shit game.
Mm-hmm.
I could have picked 10 people. It wasn't just Kanate. What's Kanate playing the game on his own then? It's Kanate defender, fullback, midfielder, defensive midfielder, winger, striker, right winger. Is he all these people? No, he's just one person. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, so everybody get off Kanate's back because it's a team effort and the team is not playing well. Yeah. So you take off Kanate, yeah, and you put Gravenberch as a centre back, yeah. Which Gravenberch, he's not. Gravenberch is not even a DM really. When you think about it, he's not a DM, yeah. But you put him as centre back, yeah, and you bring on a attacker, striker. Do you know what I mean? Later on in the game, you take off Curtis Jones, yeah, which he shouldn't be in at right back anyway. He shouldn't be in at right back. Imagine that day you got two right backs on a bench, and they don't even get no game time. They get no game time, right? So Bosley goes back into right back, yeah, and then you got Engamore coming on, another attacking player. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we're literally playing with no midfield. We're playing with no midfield and no defense. You might as well say. What kind of what in the world tactics is that? Tell me, what in the world tactics is that? Then you got sort of like then you got Mo Salah that's getting rewarded by playing shit. He's getting rewarded with a start every game. Imagine that, you know. Imagine that the day you guys at the day got full-time jobs. I haven't got a full-time job. I've got a little part-time thing. You know what I'm saying? But you guys got full-time jobs, right? Imagine that the day that that you're shit at your job. Yeah, but you still at the end of the day got a job to go to year in year out. Do you know what I mean? If you're shit at your job, in fact, you're going to get sacked. There's a thing called a probationary period, isn't it? If you're shit at your job, you're going to get sacked. I'm not saying that they should sort of they should sack Salah or they should put him on a transfer list or whatever, get rid of him. I'm not saying that, but he needs to hold a bench for a while. He needs to hold a bench for a while and then bring Crazy in. You got a person there. You got Crazy there that you can play on the right. Bring Crazy in. But yeah, you're getting rewarded, yeah, for rubbish. Do you know what I mean? So you put all those sort of things together, which is all run by Arne Slot. You tell me, is Arne Slot is good for Liverpool? And the answer is no. But you got yourself in a position now, right, that there's probably nobody out there at the moment that you can get. So you have to stay with him. So he can literally do what he wants now. Do you know what I mean? He can lose game after game. Listen, I was on my other friend's channel, Brian. Yeah, big up Anfield Irishman each other time. Yeah, I was on his channel today, right? And he put up 5 games at the day, including Forest, West Ham, Sunderland, PSV Eindhoven, and somebody else was in there as well. Yeah, I can't remember who it is, right? And he said, then he asked me, he went around the panel and he asked how many games. He got to me, he goes, how many games does Liverpool win out of that 5? I picked 1, and that's PSV Eindhoven. And the only reason I picked out PSV Eindhoven because the Champions League is more slower than the Premiership. It's less physical than the Premiership. So he might stand a chance against PSV Eindhoven. But the rest of the games that I had him to lose to Nottingham Forest, lose to West Ham, yeah. I'm more what JP? Quan JP. He's my friend right here, my friend right here, man. He's a good guy, this guy. He's a good guy. Yeah, so I had him to lose against Nottingham Forest, lose against West Ham, probably draw against Sunderland, and I can't remember the other team it was that was in that. It was in that pack, but I had him to lose against that. Do you know what I mean? So far, right. I hate to say it, I'm right so far because we've got buoyed off against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest. This is the thing I'm talking about. There's losing and there's a mannerism of how you lose. We got buoyed off at Anfield, you know. At Anfield, you know. We got buoyed off. We got treated like saps. They cheat us like saps, you know.
Do you hear what Gibbs White said?
Go on,
What?
what is that?
He said it was comfortable for them. Comfortable.
That's
Like
all I
he was
want to
chilling
hear.
at home.
That's all I wanna hear.
Comfortable.
This is why there's this thing going around. We want to play you every week about
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Yeah.
A bite out of the apple. Who gets in a bite? Remember when City did that when Haaland and Foden take a bite out of the apple? We are the apple.
Yeah.
So everybody taking the turns to get a bite out of the apple.
Taking the piss. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
And
It's
then you
ridiculous.
get people questioning why we saying get him out. Like I don't understand what you're watching. I don't even think people even know what Liverpool Football Club is. I mean, I really don't think that we're an elite club. We sit with Real Madrid and AC Milan and Bayern Munich in the table. We're not waiters. We're not, you know, what I mean, we're not chefs. We're sitting in a table with the elite of the elites of clubs. I mean, we had a 6 years exile from European football. Who knows if those things didn't happen, how far we could have been in football.
Yeah.
We could have been the greatest club that ever existed. But we had a few things that happened to us that, you know, which was tragedies, you know what I mean? And who knows, like I said, who knows where we could have been if things like that didn't happen at the time. But listen, guys, this is disaster, man. The league table says where you are, and that's where you belong at the moment. And if you're telling me that's acceptable, you need to question yourself if you actually support Liverpool. I'm being serious, guys, because you can't defend that. There is no way. And the people that saying you're the enemy of Liverpool if you don't support Arne Slot, they need to like question themselves as well, because we're in deep shit. We are in deep shit at the moment, and it doesn't look like we're gonna get a win. Listen, if we're losing to the 19th place team, that means we could lose to anybody. You get what I'm saying, guys? It doesn't matter what team you're facing, you're gonna lose. So wake up, man. Everybody needs to wake up here. We need to fight this shit. And it's not the head of the table. The head of the table is the issue at the moment.
Yeah.
He's trying to wipe out Klopp's, you know, tactics that he brought us. That was a winning tactics from under nines all the way to the senior team to this shit we're watching. Come on, man.
You're right. And like it's like you're hoping to play Wolves so that it can be a 6-pointer between, because that's where we reach now. 11 points in November. Madness for defending champions to be 11 points off the top of the table is madness in my opinion. And
11 points and 11th in the table as well.
Yeah.
You could not make that up.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, like I was shocked with the Man U loss at Anfield, and this one is like, so just like Uncle Rod said, I can't see where Liverpool getting points. We going away to West Ham. I predicted a win against Forest. I said, all right, after international break, we're going to get a win against Forest. No. So where we getting our win in the Premier League? Sunderland. After coming Anfield, we have to go away to Leeds. I saw Leeds.
Sorry to cut you. The team that I missed out was Leeds. Yeah, Karen.
Yeah. So Leeds, even though Leeds lost today, they put up a fight. And you know that Leeds and Liverpool have a little history in England. So so I don't know. I can't explain it. I mean, my position for why I wanted Slot out was his player management is very poor. I remember you went from seeing Klopp hugging players, putting arm around players, getting the best out of players. And I have a manager that have players in the right position. Ramsey played excellent against Crystal Palace. Natural right back. Klopp would have given him a chance. Klopp would have said to Ramsey, bro, whether you have a bad game, a good game, I have my faith in you. You go out there, I trust you, play for me.
And another thing as well, if he didn't have a good game, he would have said it's on me.
It's on me, it's on me, correct.
I will take the blame. Does that make sense? That's the leader right there.
This
you know, Klopp would have done. Sorry to cut across you.
Yeah, go ahead. My manager does the opposite. This manager,
if he had a bad game, if Ramsey had a bad game, what would happen? Klopp would have put his arm around him and said, "Look, yeah, you know what? You've done the best that you can.
Correct.
You've done the best you can.
I'll give you another chance again.
Yeah, but give me another chance. Give me another chance soon. And what we do, we'll work on a few things.
Yeah.
So like you'll be going to be more ready for the next game. For next game.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Yeah.
This is a difference. Yeah, I mean, sorry to cut across the JP. This is a difference between a man manager and a manager.
Yeah.
That's always going to be a difference.
Yeah.
Sorry, JP. Carry on.
Kwanzaa had a bad game against what it was Leicester in the first game. You hook him off. After that, Kwanzaa confidence gone. Never to the point where you have to.
He doesn't do that to other players, JP, does he? He doesn't do it.
Right. And that's I tell you, we have one of our best midfielders playing right back, right? And then you don't understand why we have no fight and we lose in the midfield.
Do you know, JP? Do you know why we're so bad as well? Like this is why this situation that some people are supporting is so bad.
Yeah.
Jurgen was the head coach, so was a manager. So that means he works within the football club and outside the football club. So he takes all the burden, going doing charity, going helping out people and all that stuff. This guy only concentrates on the football team.
Got one job.
One job. And he's struggling. That's what we can't understand. You know what I mean? One job. And you're struggling with one.
You ever heard that saying? You've only got one job to do and you couldn't do it.
He's not going out there kissing babies. He's not, pushing prams. He's not, he's not doing nothing. He's got one job.
Because you're bad at
it. You know what I mean? And you're struggling. Like, what is going on? Why can't you get your tactics right? Like, what? Oh, man. Even if people wanted him out, nobody wants a head coach of Liverpool to fail. We still want to support him. Let's put that straight first of all.
Yeah, gotta be real.
He's not helping himself. That's the worst part of it. And he wasn't in the
you can't. It's simple. Rods, I was on 12-man stream earlier today, and I saw first this manager making so much of mistakes. I think it reached a stage where I wouldn't be surprised if I see Alisson playing on top and Isaac in goal on Wednesday, because it's simple mistakes this man making, and it's like
nothing. Alisson is a midfielder.
Keep at one point as well. Trust me.
He puts Alisson midfielder as a defensive midfielder.
But guys, that's the dumbest thing, innit? Like you got 2 weeks break, to figure out what we could do, make us hard to beat. You come back with midfielders as a right back and a centre back. Like what is that? Like how do you actually think about that in 2 weeks of break? You've got two right backs on the bench, So what do you do? Like you think, I mean, okay, we're not winning, but we can see a lot of goals. So what do? We become hard to beat. So we're gonna need to put like proper defenders at the back, so we don't get beat in the air, or crosses come in the box, which affect us a lot in the game. So even when corners are there, at least we've got a centre back that's playing right back that can head the ball away. If you know what I mean, he doesn't even think like that. He still goes with more attacking players.
Attack first, then defense. That's how he is as a coach. That's the frustrating thing.
He panics. He literally panics. That game. You know what I saw him first panic? It was a game against Newcastle when we played him in the League Cup. When he took off two of his defenders and put on two attacking players, because he brought on what's his name? Chiesa, and brought on Elliot. And he literally had was it Virgil playing as a centre forward? Do you know what I mean? We literally had no defense.
Unks, I've asked this question to everybody else in the other stream, Let me ask you guys a question, when you watch football and you watch Liverpool, when things are not going right? You notice it because you've been watching Liverpool most of your life, At what point does the head coach realize things are not working out? I have to make some changes. At what point would you think? Because with me, when I watched the City game, first 10 minutes, I knew we were struggling because we couldn't string two passes together. Gravenberch was struggling. Kanate was running into players. We conceding chances. So it's around 20 minutes. Great coaches will realize I have to make some changes on the pitch, not personnel, but formation-wise, to make it.
Anytime, though. Couldn't it be any time, Fuzz? It
Yes,
could be any
anytime.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
anytime.
But I'm saying you should know your players. You
Mhm.
Yeah,
spend
yeah,
a
that's
season
true.
with them, and you spend this most of this season with them. So why at any point you haven't realized things are not going right? You know what I mean? That's what I don't understand. Great coaches, they know at some point things are not working out. We're struggling, so they make changes on the pitch to make
Yeah,
it
in-game tactics, isn't it?
harder for the opposition to create chances.
Yeah, yeah.
He doesn't
Facts.
do that. There's nothing there. I'm telling you guys, just go watch the games. There's nothing there.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've
Nobody
seen
can answer. Nobody can answer this question for me because everybody. He made the change against Man City in the 50th minute. That's when he started making changes, but it was too late, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I
That's
mean?
the only time he makes changes, which is in the second half. Like this season, we're always trailing. Let's be honest. At
Yeah.
halftime, we're always
It's
losing.
over.
1-0,
Just turn off the
2-0,
TV.
whatever the scoreline is.
Listen, mate. Turn off the
So
TV.
then what?
When we're behind, just press the red button. It's over. It's 6 games, all behind in goals. We've lost all 6 games. That's what I did after the Nottingham Forest game. I pressed that button. I was gone. I went outside. All I could say
I
is
flashed
ping,
out.
off
I'm not gonna lie. I just started chatting. I was doing a watch. I was just speaking to the chat because I
Mm.
flashed out. I just couldn't focus on the game after that third goal. But this season, like whenever we're trailing at halftime, he's always just switching it to a 4-4-2-4. Like he's throwing in the kitchen sink. But why are you throwing in the kitchen sink? The team should be set up differently from the beginning. And like you said, Fozzie, when you're playing a match, you have a game plan. But if the game plan isn't going, maybe their tactics are different to what you expected. You have to tweak it right away. You communicate to your captain or whoever is the nearest player that can say, look, switch it, do this, do that. That's in-game management. But all right, I know there's a lot of slot-ins. I'll give him the benefit of that. He did that a little bit last season, right? But this season, I'm talking about this season only, he hasn't done it. He hasn't shown the element of being a tactician. He's literally, when you're playing Football Manager, you set the formation up and you just sit back and relax.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the score line is. You've done your tactics in the beginning and that's it. That's laziness. That is not a proactive manager or coach, whatever his job title is. That is not what you're supposed to do at this high level. And he's not making any tweaks. He's not utilizing the squad. It's always the same 11, despite if they're in good form or not.
Yep.
That is a concern as well. You can't just play the same 11 like you're playing a football, like you're playing a PlayStation game. That's not how it works. If someone is out of form, you've got to rotate. Look at Pep Guardiola. You know, you asked the question about when should a coach realize that things aren't working out? He should have realized a long time ago before we went through 6 out of 7. But the Man City game should have been that, do you know what? I'm dead right now. I need to come up with a solution. Rather than going to Dubai and smoking shisha, he should have come back to Liverpool and come up with a plan with his coaches. He's not a one-man band. He's got a team of coaches.
And that's the one job that he does. No excuses. That's your job. That is it.
Yeah.
No excuses. So
But you
are
know-
you telling me, if you can't come up with a new formation? Because I don't know if you guys saw on social media, there was rumors circulating that Slot is switching up. He's doing a different training plan where they're doing a 3-5-2 to try and accommodate Ekitike and
Oh
Isak.
yeah.
So where did that go? Where did those rumors come? Did just someone just spread it for whatever reason? Because I never saw it in this game.
Yeah.
It was the same formation, same tactics, no desire, no energy, no pressing. We don't press as a team anymore.
Nope.
Do you know there was a game? Do you know there's a game that Klopp played? Yeah. I hate to keep on going back to Klopp, but I have to as to make a comparison. Do you know what I mean? Right, the last game that sort of like Klopp played against Man City, he knew at the end of the day, right, player for player, yeah, that he couldn't match. He couldn't match sort of like Man City. Player for player, he couldn't match Man City. Yeah, he couldn't match him. So then, you know what he did? He stopped certain players from playing, certain important players from playing. Because he knew at the end of the day, if he stopped these 3 people from playing, right, he knew at the end of the day, sort of like the rest of the other players that obviously he couldn't match become ineffective because they won't get the service. Do you understand what I'm saying? And these 3 players was Bernard Silva, Rodri, and Phil Foden. He literally stopped their mans from playing. Yeah. there was a big wide open space at the end of the day, right, which De Bruyne was in, and he just couldn't get the service. In the end, he forced. This is how I know that Jurgen Klopp is such a great manager, so great. In the end, he forced Pep Guardiola to take off his most effective player, which is Kevin De Bruyne. He forced him to take him off because he wasn't getting no service, so he wasn't able to do anything. So having him out there was pointless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When he come off and he was screwing about the fact that he's coming off, Pep Guardiola's explained to him, goes, I had to take you off because they stopped you from playing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is what a mark of a genius. This is what I know. This This is why one of the reasons why I was upset when obviously Klopp left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, Klopp left because what I knew is we've lost a genius.
Yeah.
We've literally lost a genius. Do you know what I mean? Because he was a genius. Even like with me and my brother, I'm showing my brother today. We was talking about, like, remember the game against Wolves when it was really tight and everything that, and it was 0-0, but we had to win that game. We had to win that game and everything that, right?
Yeah.
And then I think Origi came on. Origi came on and everything that, and the Salah and Origi went 2 moves and he got the ball, he spun around and bang back in net, 1-0. Do you know what I'm saying? It was just the way that Klopp did things at the day, right? You needed a manager or a head coach at the day. Obviously, at the day, that could not match him because some of Klopp's genius at the day you couldn't match. You know what I mean? Match. But you needed somebody that can sort of like kind of reach up to his levels. You know what I mean? That wasn't too far behind his levels and then there. And I'm not being funny. The person that I saw that can do that was Amram because he had a winning mentality. He walked into, a lot of people say about like Man United and they finished 15th and 15th that, right? But what it was, when he walked into Man United, he walked into a dog shit team. Come on,
toxic kind of thing. But
he walked in a dog shit team and everything that. But look who he is now. And as well, what people got to realize is that he's still managed. No, it's true. And as well, you got to think about it. He still managed to get Man United to the Europa Cup final. He gave to get to the Europa Cup. All right, they lost, but he got them to the final. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Yeah. But look at them now. Now they're ahead of us, and if they win tomorrow at the end of the day, right, against Everton, if they win tomorrow against Everton, we go further down the table, don't we?
Yeah, I just to add to what you're saying there, Rods, and that's why this manager he lost the dressing room. Like, don't know how to deal with the players. Like Klopp, Verts under Klopp is going to be a Coutinho 2.0. Yeah, Rio under Klopp. These guys, and it's because when I see my I call in Klopp my manager did it in the past, and I see this manager doing the opposite. Klopp would have never thrown the likes of Rio and Chiesa to the Wolves in a 3-0 hopeless situation. He would have eased them into those games. So this is what I'm saying. What you're trying to do to the players' mentality. Rio went to our Champions League, we lead in 4-1, and you're leaving Rio on the bench when we comfortable for him to come on and shine to get experience. And then you're throwing him to the Wolves when we play in Brentford and Forest down and saying, go out there and do something. What we doing? What we doing? True. You have to manage your players well. You have a striker who's out of form. I feel sorry for Isaac because social media just berating him now.
He should be coming on slowly, not like
you have a form
and he ain't getting no service.
Yeah, you have a form striker at TK who's scoring goals and in form, and you're putting Isaac, who is out of form and not fit, over him, and then so what you're telling TK, no matter if you in form, fit, Isaac is ahead of you, no matter what. He can be
You-
bad.
you-
What
JP,
message you're sending to the players?
JP, you know why he should get the sack, guys. Do you know why that people have had enough? Majority of the people
Mm.
is the disrespect for the Premier League. If you know
Yeah,
what I mean.
Yeah,
Last
yeah,
season,
yeah.
last season you won the league by 10 points. Should have been more in it. If we put the foot in the middle and you go on holidays and all that, it should have been probably 30.
I see where you're going, Ozzie. I see where you're going.
25
Yeah,
points, yeah.
yeah.
So you come into this season, you buy all these players. This I don't even remember the preseason. I don't know if you guys remember. I don't even know what we did. You know what I mean, I don't think it was all that.
Yeah, it was here and there, hit and miss.
Yeah. So you come into the season, and then when you're coming into the season, you didn't even prepare for the season. If you know what I mean, you thought coming back with this firepower, you got a machine gun, you got a lot of bullets. You know what I mean? You was at score team, but at the same time, you transition during the season because the goals that you're gonna score is gonna get you over the line as you're transitioning. But what he forgets, this is not the Dutch league. This is the Premier League. The Premier League is where teams get smarter. Teams always go after the top team of the Premier League. And that's what's happened to us this season. He disrespected every other team. The worst part of it is when I watch our team, I don't think we analyze the opposition enough. I don't think we do. That's number one. And secondly, I don't think he analyzes these players that he's got. Because if he does, why are they making the same mistakes every game they play? I will sit, as a coach, I will pull in those players individually, game in and game out until they could improve and show them the mistakes they keep making. What is McAllister's worst attributes at the moment this season? Giving the ball away continuously, right? And running, right?
And he's passing off as well.
Yeah. I'll get him back and tell him, look what you're doing wrong every game. Why is the passes always going to the opposition? What is a Gravenberch's issue? Strength, isn't it? And running back to defend for the team and taking the right positions, right? I'll show him the video of that. This is what he doesn't do, guys. I swear to you, he does not do that because every game I watch is the same mistakes. Same mistakes every game, and it's never improving. Have you guys noticed that?
No, it's not.
Konate is the same. Right. Van Dijk is the same. And Kirkes is the same. Kirkes, I mean, you know what Kirkes, guys? Yeah, I feel sorry for him because he's better than what he's showing. I think they threw him out there, and they made him look bad.
Yeah.
What did they do with Robertson when he first came? They slowly integrated him with the team when Klopp got him, right? And then he became the defender that he became. That's what they should have done with Kirkes as well. They threw him out there and they tell him to solve it. And look what's happening to Kirkes. This manager has got no management styles. There's no management.
He's got no clue because what he's doing. Sorry to cut across you, Fuzz, yeah, because you're making some really good points. You know what I mean? The things with Kirkes in there, right? What Slot's doing? Slot's playing him as an inverted left centre back and an inverted left back at the same time. Yeah. Do you know yesterday? And I think that Cal pointing this out. Yeah. Right. Kirkes was playing as a 10. So
he's very central.
Certain times of the game, he's playing as a 10.
He was.
This is our left back
on the pitch. Yeah, crazy.
Our left back, but he's going by the instructions at the end of the day of what Slot's told him. Slot's telling him to invert as a left centre back. Yeah, Slot's telling him to invert at the end of the day as a left back. Do you know what I mean? And leaving bags of space behind. It's not good enough.
Yeah.
It's not good enough. You know what I mean? It's not good enough. And the thing is about it, we need a head coach or a manager, right, that knows what the fuck he's doing.
Unks, you know what typifies us this season? The first goal. I tell you what, I said the first goal. The ball was crossed in from a corner, by the way, guys, from a corner. That is it Morello? What's his name? That defender?
Morello. Yeah.
He escaped somewhere. I don't know who was marking him. He escaped somewhere. And then so he went to the edge of the 6-yard box. Guys, he brought it down from the sky, put it on the floor, looked up and placed it in the back of the net. From a corner, by the way, where you're supposed to be marked, where players supposed to charge towards you and stop you shooting. That's how easy it is for opponents. He managed to pull the ball from the air, bring it down, look up, and place it in the back of the net. That easy. And
that's a defender to doing that. So the skill level not even that great, you know.
So he's Brazilian though, isn't he?
Fair.
We did the same thing in the other box with McAllister. What did the Nottingham Forest defenders do?
Close us down.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
They closed us down straight away. Soon as we, the thing is about it, right? What Nottingham Forest did yesterday, right? Which I was impressed with, was the fact that every time we had the ball and we was in advancing situations, yeah, they closed us down. And what they did do, then they nullified us to just passing around their area.
Easy,
You know what I mean? They said they'll just say that, yeah, come and break us down. If you come and break us down, we're going to hit you in a counter attack. You know, so do your thing. You know what I mean? They literally they schooled us at Anfield. Do you know how embarrassing that is?
Yeah.
That's so embarrassing. And the thing is about, I don't see it getting any better when we go away to West Ham this weekend.
I can't see a win coming from anywhere.
No, there
I
ain't.
said that.
The run of games we
new
had
manager as well,
on
new
paper
manager.
they're not actually that bad.
Yeah.
But I can't see a win coming.
And Nuno knows how to play against us. He's the one who beat us last season at Anfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, Nuno is the manager.
Yeah. West Ham. He's the one that gives Slot nightmares. You know, Slot couldn't stop talking about Forest for the whole season after that.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, innit? You remember? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
The same thing again. It's gonna be deja vu. He's gonna talk
Yeah.
about Forest all the time now. You know what I mean?
And the thing is about it, what we got to remember, we got Champions League on Tuesday, yeah?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday?
Yeah.
Wednesday, yeah, PSV.
Oh, that's all right. Then I can watch it then. Not that I want
Do
to
you
watch
want
it, but I can watch it.
Do you want
I
to
mean-
see
Alison, big feeling the ruts.
You know what it is? I can't believe I said it out loud, you know?
It might happen. It might happen.
I can't believe I said that out loud.
Yeah.
Guys,
No.
do you know
Anyway.
Surprise
do you
if
know,
you know
one
ruts.
second, one
That's
second.
it.
Do you guys remember under Klopp, yeah? You remember in the old days, like we like 5 seasons, we've only lost 3 games in the whole seasons.
Yeah,
Like if you count the 5 seasons, only
Yeah.
3 games.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Sometimes we lost 1 game in the whole season, he still won the league.
Yeah.
Because of the draws, isn't it? Because of the draws.
And you know, even what I noticed on the club, yeah, even when we got beaten certain times, right, yeah, only apart from that season and when we lost all 3 defenders at the day that we
Yeah,
fought, well, you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is. But certain times at the day when we did lose games, I didn't really remember feeling this bad.
You know,
Yeah.
crying about their desire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't really feel like the time we lost against Burnley at home.
We lost 6
what-
games at home in one season.
Yeah, 6 games. But that was a season. Remember, that was a season where all 3 of our
Injuries
defenders
and-
were out, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 of the defenders out. So you didn't really feel that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But other games that day, even when we had a full squad and we lost games, I don't remember feeling that bad. I remember feeling I was eager to get to play the next game. You know what I mean? Because I knew we was going to do better in the next game.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You know. But like with this now, I'm dreading playing the next game. I don't even want to play the next game. Do you know what I mean? Because I know today, if West Ham score first, which is more likely will score first, yeah, that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
Mm-hmm.
And
Listen,
then
we'll make it play to
what
avoid
has West Ham been doing lately? What's the West Ham been doing lately? Even against Chelsea, right? They scored first.
We fall apart, man. We fall apart. They've got no fight, man. They don't even fight anymore. Their heads go down, and the manager brings on substitutions like 3 or 4 players in a row. I mean, nah, it don't work like that.
That's with no real purpose either. It's just to put players on the pitch.
Yeah.
Just for the sake, just to
Think
give
about
them
it,
a cameo.
Ozzie, yeah? You guys play football, yeah? And you've seen football.
Yeah.
When you bring 4 players in one go on the pitch, yeah, how are they gonna gel straight away? Like, who's gonna take charge? Like, how the players gonna change the game? You can't. That's why great managers always do it like 1 or 2 together, something like that, not 4 or 5 at the same time. Because they're all gonna get away with each other. They're all gonna get in the way of each other. They're not gonna know who's gonna take lead. They need to like slowly get into the game. That's what they need to do.
Especially in the last 10 minutes of a game.
Yeah.
If you're putting 3 subs on, what's gonna happen in that? It's just a sign of desperation. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And as a
I've
word,
never seen him change a game with that either.
Ozzie,
No.
to add to that too, Ozzie, like I'm a wing back by trade. So I know defenders only come off if they're injured or a tactical switch to try and get back into the game, something like that. Kirkes wasn't playing badly. I don't think he
Yeah.
was injured. And then you bring on Robertson. He not speed to the game. And that's because you see how the guy blow past him, right? Because they don't have the speed of the game. And we concede the third goal. Everybody knows that. You don't make subs during a corner or set piece. You take off your stopper, and then you put so we have our two best midfielders playing in defense now, right? So we do have you have defensive mind players on the bench to make the switch, so you can bring on. You say Gomez wasn't fit to start. All right, okay. Switch him out with Konate and keep grabbing Birch in the midfield.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny, JP? Yeah, you're taking the two guys that could take away the ball from the defense further away from the goal.
Yes.
Put them in defense. You know what I mean? So nobody, who's gonna do that?
I don't know
Area?
why. That's what I said. No, because Rod think I'm joking.
No, but the thing is, the position that we're in now. No, the position that is now, right?
It's bad.
Listen, I can only laugh because if I don't laugh, I'll cry. Listen, I will literally cry.
Yeah.
It's literally one of them ones because how in God's name did we find ourselves in this position? How do we find ourselves in this position? We are screwed, you know that, don't we? Yeah. We are screwed because there's no head coach or no manager out there, right? That's of the caliber to take on Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, there's people out there, but it's probably like Mark Smith from Austria or something like that. Do you know what I mean? You know, one of them ones, right?
Yeah.
But we're screwed at the moment because if we replace this manager, this head coach, we have to replace him with quality.
Better manager.
Has to be with quality. So either at the end of the day, right? We go back to Klopp. They go back to Klopp with their tails wagging between their legs, yeah, and said, Klopp, you know what? We need your help. You know, and furthermore, and when you come and bring Gerrard with you as well. Do you know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And then what he can do, he can sort of like look after Gerrard and get him ready to take over at Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Get him ready. You understand what I'm saying? So in effect, at the day, Gerrard will be his number 2 for the time being, for however long it takes. You know what I mean? Even if it's a season and a half, you know what I mean? For however long it takes, you know what I mean? He's going to be his number 2. But all that time there, he's getting Gerrard ready to take over as the number 1. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, right. To me, well, I know other people might have other ideas and other opinions, but this is me now. This is the only way I can see it working. This is the only way I can see it working. Because who's out there right now that we can get right now? That's a full worth. Yes, we can go and get a head coach. Yes, we can get a manager, but is he going to be the one? So who's out there right now? All the people out there right now, and then right, that we can get a full worth have got jobs.
This team needs therapy. You know what I mean? They need
they need therapy. Yes,
they need a psychologist. You know what I mean? And you know, there's no one better than Jurgen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's how Jurgen
into players' heads and make them believe they could do anything they can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And look at when Jurgen was there, guys. You know what I mean? Ballon d'Or nominees, everything. All these players that you never thought they can do Ballon d'Ors, they've been Ballon d'Or nominees. You know what I mean? So he makes them believe they could achieve things like that. And
Trent
that's what
wasn't anything.
This guy in the chat, right? This guy in the chat goes, give me Zinedine Zidane, Uncle Riz, you know. And he goes, Rod, sorry. He goes, I called him Uncle Riz, you know.
Yeah, but you know, you got to understand that, guys. You know what the reason I always talk about man management, and you guys talk about man management. You got to look at the era of football. Back in the day, you slap up players, you slap them in the face, and they will take it to wake up and play. Nowadays, these are sensitive players, man. They're millionaires in an early age. You know what I mean? Those days you had to earn the right to be a millionaire. They can berate. You got to chat to them. You got to give them an arm around the shoulder, and that was the best thing about Jurgen, man. And this is what they need. These guys, they're mentally gone. These players, listen, there's no way back. Let me just tell you that the experienced players are gone. You saw Robertson against Hutchinson when he came in, cut inside, and then Gibbs scored.
Yeah.
I mean, well, that's not Robertson. Robertson will take you right out.
Yeah.
Put himself in a position that
Konate smirking when he coming off.
there you go. And look at that. Another one as well.
Yeah,
People,
pissed me off
people
as
don't
well.
respect this coach. You
Yeah.
need to respect
Mm.
back at this football club, and that starts with the head of the table. We need to get that guy back, man, as soon as possible. Him
Do you
saying
remember-
in the interview, "I want to come back," get him back,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's the sign
Do you remember
right
he
there.
dubbed to that guy? What's his name? Is it Mamadou Sakho? When he,
Yeah.
the defender, when he was messing about. Remember we dubbed him messing about. Do you realize at the day that sort of like Klopp sacrificed going a full season without a defender
Yeah,
just to make a
and he was a
point?
leader. He was a leader as well.
Yeah, just to make a point to say like, no, you don't come in this team and F about. You don't F about. If it means me going without a defender, then I'll do it just to make a point. I'm the governor here, not you.
That's what you need.
You know what I
man.
mean? And I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it at first. It took me a couple of years and then to
He made
understand.
an
I thought,
example out of him, bro.
yeah, and I thought to myself, you know what? He was right what he done.
And not only
He was
that,
right there.
even,
Because nobody messed about after that, did they?
even
Yeah,
the Coutinho thing, you know, when Coutinho left, guys, look at the way he used that to his advantage.
Yeah, yeah.
But Coutinho, we could build a statue here.
Yeah.
If you stay and play for this.
Yeah.
football. Coutinho chose to leave,
Yeah.
and look what happened to Coutinho's career after that.
yeah.
And then
That's
he
the
used,
example right
he
there.
used that. Yeah, he used that to his advantage for other players. See, when you go to Real Madrid and Barcelona, look what could happen to you. Stay here and fight for this football
Yeah,
club.
fight for me.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you'll see where you got as a footballer. There you go, guys. This is what you need. This is the kind of chat you need, not this weak ass guy that keeps picking the same team every week and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it, man. There's not even tactics on the pitch. So what's the actual point supporting this rubbish we're watching, man? We've got better
Remember he
players
did
than last season.
Do you remember what he did against when Everton in the day, right? And when Origi scored that goal in the last second,
Yeah.
and he ran on the pitch. Who was the first person he hugged?
Alisson.
Alisson, isn't it?
Alisson, because you know why? It started from Alisson.
Yeah.
Alisson put the ball in, didn't he? He pelted the ball into the area and everything, and then it was ping ponging around, and then obviously Origi got his head in it and went back in the net. It started from Alisson. So he went. What he did?
I'm
He
sick.
went to the creator. He went and congratulated the creator, hugged him, and everything like that.
You know,
I thought that was
I was telling
brilliant.
Uncle Roz earlier, guys.
Brilliant.
What can happen this season? Yeah, what could have happened this season? Remember, Uncle was discussing it earlier.
Yeah.
I told him about Arsenal and Liverpool. Yeah, this is the season we should have number one got 21. Yeah, because if we got 21, Pep Guardiola was always going to leave City, right? That's one trouble at the way.
Yeah.
And if we won the league this season, Arteta would have been gone. So
Yeah.
there's no more building at Arsenal. Those
Mhm.
players are going to leave as well, probably with the
Yeah.
manager eventually, because
Yeah.
they're not going to wait for another 5-year project. So what would have happened for us is the gate would have opened. You know what I mean? Most
And we
people
have a couple.
need new coaches. Don't forget new ideas. It's going to take them a few years.
Mhm.
We are the only ones who are going that direction. That means dominant.
Mhm.
We didn't even do that. That's going out the window now.
Yeah.
Now you let Arsenal, go through the back door. They're going to win the league now. And we're fucked. I mean, because we don't know how long they're going to start winning the title either.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we got to add quality with these players that they have already this season. Everybody wants to come to London, right? Everybody wants to come to the Champions of England, like us, like this season. That's going to happen.
That's how we got players.
People don't think about things like this.
Yeah.
You can't.
We need that. We need that.
You can't unprepared like we did this season. You can't take the foot off the gas. You got to keep winning, man.
That's what I'm saying. You're right. Fuzzy, you're 100% right. Because we need a head coach or manager. I want to say a manager, right? We need a manager today that's going to be able to utilize all these players. Because I'm sure at the end of the day, if you put sort of like Ngamo as a 10 I'm sure at the end of the day he will cook. You put this false nine of what Scott likes to play Chiesa as a false nine. I don't think that works. Put him as a 10 or winger, well then you got something. But false nine doesn't work. Do you know what I mean? And another thing what vexing me in the day, right? People like Luis Diaz at the day, right? Brilliant guy for Liverpool Football Club because he always gave 100%. When he came in the pitch, he always gave 100%. Yes, he might not be the best controller of the ball. Yeah. You know what I mean? He may have give away passes sometimes. But I'll tell you what, as Cal said yesterday, he worked bloody hard for Liverpool Football Club.
Up and
Once
down
he put on that shirt, yeah, he worked his socks off for Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, right? Why didn't we replace this guy? I've got no problem with him going because obviously he wanted to go for last season. He wanted to go to Man City, didn't he?
Mm.
You know what I mean? I've got no problem in any player at the end of the day that wants to leave Liverpool Football Club, right? But be sure and to replace this guy. Replace this guy. You haven't replaced this guy. You got Gappo and Gappo out there, right? As your left winger. You're saying that you don't want to buy another left winger because you don't want to ruin a 17-year-old boy in Ingamar's progress, right? Progress. Yeah, coming through. But you hardly play him. You're only playing him in the games that are lost.
Yeah.
That are lost. You know, hoping that he might be able to get you a goal or two. Do you know what I mean? That's a lot of pressure to put on a 7-year-old boy.
Sorry to interrupt. I think we're messing up with his development as well because he should be training with under 21s, learning his craft there, rather than sitting on the bench and not being active. Like he's only coming on to be a savior when we're training, enjoying games. That's not how you manage a 17-year-old.
No.
That is definitely going to hinder his confidence going forward. Because all you're doing is putting him in literally in the deep end, thinking, go and save the day. He's not there to save the day. He's there to learn. He's not learning anything. So we've literally mismanaged him as well. Because when Luis Diaz left, people were telling me, oh, he's his replacement. Look, he's a very talented kid. I'm not going to deny that. But he's not ready for the first team.
No,
he needs to play his trade in the under 21s, make mistakes at that level, learn how to play the game, and then next season we can talk. But right now, he can be in and around the top games. That's fine. I'm not against that. But to have him in Premier League squads, Champions League squads, and bring him on out of desperation, that's not how you manage young players.
No.
That's the problem for me about this coach now that I'm seeing more and more now. He doesn't know how to manage young players.
I would have put him on. You know what I would have done? I would have put him on loan. Yeah. So I've those teams that's just come up in the Premiership. Yeah. Like
so you played every week.
Yeah. That Leeds, Sunderland. Who was the other one that come up? Leeds and Sunderland come up, or something else. Burnley, yeah. I would have put him on loan to one of them 3 clubs. Do you know what I mean? Because you know he's going to get games.
Even championship level, because that's where you learn your game. Because it's more.
Yes, true.
So he could have really gone into being a grown player, playing at that level,
true.
and he would have been ready made for the Premier League next season. Like there were so many pathways for him, but we've taken the worst route right now. We've literally put him out cold on the bench, and he's getting minutes here and there when he shouldn't really. He should have played against Forest. Why was he there? Like he should have gone. We were 3-0 down when he came on. That makes no sense. What do you think that's going to do to his confidence?
Exactly.
Like,
you know what's funny, guys? Was there a point getting out of the League Cup? What was the point? What have we achieved getting out of that?
Yeah. But even that was suicidal to have literally a whole bench full of youngsters, and a lot of those youngsters were like 17-year-olds. They weren't even reserved. They were youth players. And then your first team was a mixed match of squad / young up and coming players like your Rios and your Trey Neones. But then this is Crystal Palace. We've not had a great record with them this season anyway. But even in those games, you always have senior figures on the bench. Because if you need someone with experience or someone that can turn it around for you, you can look towards them. How are you going to look at a 16-year-old and be like, oh, come on and make a difference? That's not, so for me, he literally gave away that tournament. Like he just threw the white towel. Like, I don't really care. And the thing is, like, as silly as it sounds, those kids that were on the bench, that's gonna scar them. I'm not even joking. They're on the bench thinking, oh, I'm gonna make my professional debut for Liverpool Football Club. But like the guy, and I feel for him, Nango, he came on and he's had 2 red cards in 2 games in his Liverpool young career.
Disgrace, man.
So what's that gonna do to his confidence? Like,
you know what? They should have kept the league. They should have kept the League Cup, for these guys, and they like your Engamoa and all those sort of people to get experience. That's what they should have kept the League Cup for. So they should have done their hardest at the day to stay in that League Cup, because that could have breaded a lot of these young players and got them ready for first team football. Because do you remember the day, right? Yeah. this is why I know at the end of the day Klopp is. I hate to go back to Klopp, but this is why I know that Klopp at the end of the day is great. Do you remember at the end of the day that sort of like the season and then when we had like 12 of our first team players out in it?
Yeah, and he win the
And he
cup.
brought in all those young players and everything like Dans and Kumas and them.
What did he do before that? He made sure the senior players got them there first. Then he
Yeah,
started
yeah.
those
And
players.
then he sprinkled them with senior
Yeah.
players as well.
Yes,
So it
man.
wasn't
And
just
they
for-
came on and cooked. They came on and cooked, blood.
Yeah.
They cooked.
But
They,
he's
I
the
think
prime
Dan,
motivator. Like he literally gave those youngsters such a boost of confidence. They made them literally 8 foot tall. Like they were like, you know what, I can play with the first team squad. I
yeah,
might not be the future. They might not think that in their head, but right now, my manager has belief in me that I can mix it and I can play in a cup final. That's what you're supposed to do with your young players. You're supposed
yes,
to give them that confidence to be like, you know
yes,
what, I can come in and mix it with the big boys.
Yeah.
yeah,
And not to even like disrespect any of the first team players, but
Mm.
if they come in and do a good job, then their position is at stake as well. So now you've got a different kind of like competitiveness in training where people are fighting for places. But this is the what you get from a manager that's a motivator. Like he gets players working for him. They will
Yeah.
go through a brick wall for the manager.
Yeah.
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 I'm sorry, none of
And
these
Ballon
players are
d'Or,
doing it
bro.
for sport.
Ballon d'Or nominees, bro. Ballon d'Or nominees, man.
Do you remember that guy Boateng? Boateng that played for Dortmund, Prince Boateng,
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
right? Do you remember what he said about Klopp?
Yeah.
He goes,
Yeah,
because like when he first came to, I think when he first came to Dortmund or something like that, right? People were saying, "What do you put him training for? He's
Mm.
rubbish. He's this and that." And Klopp goes, "No, he goes, no, he's good.
Yeah.
He's good. He'll show you. He's really, really good. You know what I mean? I trust him. I believe in him. He's really good, and he's gonna show you what it's about."
Yeah. So
Boateng said from that day,
yeah, he
he
kind
goes,
of
if you asked me to run for a brick wall for Klopp,
yeah, he
I would
would.
have done it without no hesitation. I would have run over hot coal for him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just to add,
seriously.
just to add with Ozzie there in terms of the development of young players, because remember, Wirtz is also a young player, right? And I knew exactly when Slot lost Wirtz or confidence and it was gone. Wirtz never benched in his life. If you look at Wirtz's life, he was always the talent of Germany from 10 years old
Yeah.
straight up to the youth ranks. He was one of Germany's best players ever. He was everything going through him, Leverkusen. When he burst onto the scene with Germany, he was starting for Germany and coming, right? So for him to come now into Liverpool and you're benching him, when I pointed it out on a stream, when you benched him in the Man U game with Frimpong, and Frimpong and Wirtz were on the bench, and you saw their faces, and it's like, if you could have their flyers be like, wait, now both are we benching in a big game like this and the rivals, what going on? And that was the ideal game for Wirtz to get the space against a poor United team to win out that game after the international break. You bench him, we lose, and then you bench him again against Chelsea. And so what you're telling a player like Wirtz is that you are not good enough to play on this Liverpool team, right? You are not good enough. And you're blaming it on he's young, he's physical. No, you bring a guy like Wirtz because I saw Wirtz play against France. I saw Wirtz play against top teams, and he does the business against these top teams. So you can't tell me you as a manager can't get the best out of Wirtz. We have a striker like Isaac who making Murphy look like Beckham, right? Look like Beckham. And you telling me we have better players who could deliver a ball for Isaac, and you're not feeding and playing through Isaac. My forward had to have 14 touches. This manager doesn't know how to manage the egos. He doesn't know how to manage Salah. Now that these big egos come on the scene, he doesn't know how to manage it, and he's
He's a
looking like a
pretender,
fish out of water.
JP. He's a pretender.
Yeah.
He's a pretender. That's what he is.
Yeah,
Look at the time he took off Salah against Frankfurt. Oh,
Yeah.
great. And then next game he brings him back in the Premier League.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
don't show me this poor backbone that you don't have no backbone, man.
Yeah, no backbone at all. None.
Get out of here, man.
I'm gonna go through some of the comments because
Go on,
there's
bro.
been a mix. So I'm gonna try and bring out the things
Mm.
that are coming up to me. So let's see what we got
Guys,
here.
I gotta go
So
because I gotta wake up in the next couple of hours to go to
Yeah,
work.
Fuzzy,
Oh,
appreciate you
you
coming
working
on, bro.
tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right, I'll call you. I'll call you later. I'll call you later.
Okay,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, take
Big
care.
Fuzzy,
up,
we'll
bless
speak
up,
soon,
one
bro.
love.
yeah, big up for us.
Pick up everybody.
Yeah, man.
Take care, bro.
Good guy, man.
So Dragon Wolf, big up. So it says 2 points for fourth. So he's saying we're 2 points. I've checked the league table, 3 points. But for me, it's not just about the points in the table. It's for me the performances that we're doing
Yeah,
right now.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We're not performing as a team. We're not playing to our level. And
Mhm.
it's the manner of how we're losing. Like you said, Uncle Rose, when we used to lose under Klopp's regime, you know, we still tried. We really tried our best. And maybe the other team was just better on the day. But you
Yeah,
felt that excitement the next day. Do you know what? I want a reaction. Right
yeah,
now,
yeah.
we're deflated as a fan base that, like, we, I don't really care about
I'm
the
afraid
PSV
to go
match.
to London Stadium with. I'm afraid.
Like, we don't care. So
Yeah,
that shows you that, there's a disconnect between the fans and the coach now because I think a lot of us, and we're not just doing this we don't have an agenda with the coach or whatnot. Like, we're going based on what we're seeing this season, and it's just not been good enough. Like, the way we've played, the way the coach has managed the team, it's just not good enough.
no, it's
So this
not.
is why we're having these strong opinions because enough is enough. There's only so much you can do as a coach. There's only so much acceptance we can have as a fan base. Six
Yeah,
out of seven defeats is uncalled. Like, we've never gone through that kind of consistent defeats in the
that's
Premier
like
League.
Wolves. That's
Yeah.
Wolves business, man. Wolves, man.
That's relegation form, bro. That's literally what it is. So we're not a relegation team. That is not what we're about.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying. I'm not feeling that. I ain't
no.
feeling it.
Uh,
Miss me out.
Junior Vibe says why Liverpool didn't go for destroyer for playing DM in the summer, simply invisible midfield without DM. That is a good point because
Yeah, good point.
we went with two attacking fullbacks, and I think they're talented players. But you need a DM. Whether you're playing a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, 3-5-2, it doesn't matter what formation you play. You have to have one defensive-minded player in your squad. That is the enforcer, the one that protects the back line.
Yeah.
That is a player you need. Gravenberch, yes, he's made that position his own, but it's not his natural game. And to be fair, this season, he's not playing as a DM. That's
Yeah.
what
No,
annoys me about Gravenberch. Not as a personal jab at him, in terms of the coach's tactics. He's
Yeah.
given him a free role.
Role.
So he's
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
presented the midfield that it's a free roaming midfield that, there's no static position for anyone. The number 6 role should be a static position.
Mhm.
That player should be protecting the back line. It's not for them to just roam around and
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
he's got goals and assists. No offense, I don't want my DM with goals and assists.
Mm.
I want to keep clean sheets. I want us to win games.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how I would see like my DM did a good job. Not him scoring goals. I don't really want to see that if I'm being honest with you. So I agree. We should have got a destroyer. But
yeah, because
for me,
Gravenberch is
it's
not.
gonna be
Sorry, Gossi.
no go
Gravenberch is
for it.
not actually a DMM. He's not actually
No,
a DM.
he's a centre midfielder. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've converted him to play that role. But the thing is, like, when you have that player, like, if that is his role now, it's fine because we saw it worked well last season.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
But now you've given him a different role,
Yeah.
but we haven't covered his old position. If that
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. So we kind of just open up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
mixing it around. Like, if we
Mm.
signed the DM and then that gave Groundberg the license to be
To
a box
Rome, that would be
player.
better. Yeah. Compliment Gravenberch now in the
Exactly.
midfield.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
perfect. So Groundberg's playing his natural game, and the DM that comes in, he's playing
Yeah.
his natural game.
Yeah.
This is my concern with Slot. No one or a lot of the players in the team are not playing their natural game.
Yeah.
On paper, they're in the same positions as they played
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
their
But they're not
careers.
playing. Yeah. You're
They're
correct.
not playing
Correct.
the way they actually play. Like Kirkes is an overlapping fullback.
Yeah.
That's
But
what
yeah,
made him
inverting
the
him.
best left back last season.
Yeah.
But he's inverting, as Uncle
Yeah.
Rose mentioned earlier on.
Yeah.
He was in very advanced roles in the
Yeah.
Forest game. He was a striker at one point. Like, that's
Yeah.
how far up he was,
Mm.
and that made no sense to me either. So
Yeah,
the
but even if
tactics
you're
he made,
far up, you're inverted. So it's not, you're supposed to be on the wing crossing it for your striker. Yeah.
yes,
So that's
what
why,
striker goes to pitch, man?
yeah, yeah. Not you striking, not you.
It
That's what
makes no sense.
that's
It
what I
makes
tell
no sense.
Rods. Rods, you take your joke in. Allison, in midfield.
Ellison
I'm
is
telling
the
you,
mid-
what's that
Ellison
will
is the
be
midfielder.
Trust me. Trust me, man. Honestly. Jagger Wolf says, Sharper back slot out. Who replaces him? Let's talk real football. This is not clickbait. Honestly,
Yeah.
Jagger Wolf, this is not clickbait.
Yeah.
If you've watched my channel before, and if you watch Uncle Rose, I'm sure he'll share the same opinion as well. We will
Yeah.
go off based on what we see,
Mm.
game to game. It's not just an agenda. Uncle Rose mentioned earlier in the show, he wasn't very fond of Arne Slot when we first appointed him
No,
because of
but
the lack of experience.
I didn't want such Coco. I didn't
Yeah,
want Arne Slot in the club because
yeah, you didn't. I
I didn't
remember.
think he's the right man for the job.
Yeah, I remember you've come on the show. You did that literally before he was appointed. You're like, Oz, I'm not sure about him. I'll be honest with you, Oz, I'm not sure. I'm like, that's fair. Like, thing
Yeah.
is, he was an unknown commodity. I knew of him as a manager, but I'm
Me
not going to
too.
say I knew what his philosophy was. I didn't. I knew that he
Mm.
did well for Feyenoord in the Dutch league.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
they got in the Europa League final once as well. Like I know bits and bobs like that, but not the whole catalogue, if that makes sense. So.
Mhm.
But in terms of last season, you still gave him his plaudits when it was
Yeah.
deserved.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
still,
yeah. When he
Yeah.
won the league and everything, no, I
yeah,
had to give him applaud because he done
yeah,
it. Do you know what I mean? But I also said like the real test is going to be this season.
Yeah.
So what he
Yeah.
does this season, do you know what I mean?
yes,
If he wins me a league, yeah, and or like win me league or the Champions League, yeah, well then I'll probably be fully on board with what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? Because you have to, because like first season, the league, second season the Champions League, and they so he's the man, but it doesn't even look like we're gonna even qualify for the Champions League.
yeah,
You know what's gonna happen at the day? We're gonna probably get through some of these games at the day and like qualify for the round of 16 or something like that, and then we'll probably get beaten in the round of 16.
yeah.
And that's how
Like
it's done.
Arsenal.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
but I
then
don't
what?
think we're keeping him that long though.
Huh?
By Christmas, I said I don't think we're keeping him that long by Christmas because I not seen where he gonna get wins. Remember, we haven't drawn
Yeah.
a game yet, so we going to
Yeah,
draw a game eventually in this hectic period,
Yeah.
and he's at the point where you can't make any. Yeah, you have no room for error anymore. So when we draw a game, we drop in points. And
Mm.
as I said before, Nuno, you're coming up against your arch nemesis, right? Nuno in your next game. That's actually the worst player you could play, worst manager you could play,
yeah,
because he proved last year that he took 4 points away from you, right?
Yeah, he did.
So
Yeah.
so where we go into, he's continuing to go into drop points, and by the time Christmas reach around where we have Wolves next, a new manager or caretaker manager might have to come in, Klopp, Gerrard, whoever has to come in to
yeah.
steady the ship and see us out, and we get a new manager in the summer. But like,
And that's the funny thing about what you've
yeah,
just said. You've mentioned West Ham, you've mentioned Wolves,
mm.
and those teams we should be wiping the floor with them.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm nervous about those games.
yeah. But
Like
Yeah,
that's
Wolves,
I am as
Wolves
well.
is for the Christmas. Wolves is after the Christmas. So it's
yeah.
West Ham into Sunderland into Leeds, right?
And
So
Sunderland are
yeah,
doing it right now as well. So
yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
on paper we should be beating these teams, but
Beat Leeds,
I'm
yeah,
concerned
correct.
about these matches
I
because
predicted that Forest win, and
yeah,
so he actually lost a game that I predicted we going to win. I
yeah,
said Forest win, West Ham draw, our first draw, West Ham. I said Sunderland win, and I said Leeds loss because I saw how Leeds played at home, and they have a fight and is in the hectic period of Christmas time. So, but he going to drop more points. And
yeah.
if you keep dropping points, the pressure will just keep piling up and they will have to go.
And the
You know
crazy
what it
stat is
is?
we've won 6 and we've lost 6 as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Like we're 0 or 100. Like
yeah.
that's literally how we are this season.
Wow.
I
Wow.
think
Yeah.
if he loses against West Ham, he might be gone again.
Yeah,
He
yeah, I
has to
think
be
so
gone.
too. I
He
think
has
so.
I
to be
reckon
gone.
he's
Yeah, I think
gone.
so.
I reckon he's gone.
I think so. Yeah.
I reckon.
If he's not, it's a
I
problem.
don't be surprised. Don't be surprised at the day if these guys and they haven't got a contingency plan.
Yeah.
If that has to happen, they've got
Yeah.
a contingency plan.
Yeah.
Because you know
They
what
have
is it? Have you noticed at the day when clubs come out and say, "Yeah, we're fully behind this our manager,
They're
we're backing
working
the
behind
manager,"
the
and
scenes.
everything that right? You notice at the day that in the
Yeah.
next couple of weeks
Yeah.
they're gone.
But look
You
at
know
the
what I mean? So
picture.
whenever
Look
the
at the
people
type
say
of
that,
picture runs. The
huh?
picture wasn't black. The picture wasn't black and white. When they
Exactly.
send our message,
Yeah,
so it
yeah,
means that you're on thin ice. So it means
exactly.
that anytime you keep messing up, the- you're gone.
Exactly. Because
That's what
remember
happens
the
with Rogers as well.
Yeah,
With
yeah,
Rogers,
yeah,
that's
remember
happened
yeah,
with
when
him.
do you remember with Wolves? The Wolves manager
yeah,
just
yeah,
gone.
yeah.
He actually signed another contract, didn't he? He
Mm-hmm.
signed a new contract.
Ange at Forest. When Ange was at Forest, they said, "Yeah, we full support for Ange." Say, bam, bam. You lost at home
Gone.
to West Ham.
Oh, Dash
Gone.
came the next day.
Yeah, and
They've got a good,
the same team too. West Ham. It was the
they,
same team. So
listen, they have got they have got an they sort of like a contingency plan,
yeah, yeah.
right? Going on, right? Now I don't want this to happen, but don't be surprised if you don't see Ariola as a new head coach. Don't be surprised. Do not be surprised
Yeah.
if you don't
The
see
Richard Hughes
Ariola there.
connection there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because
Mm,
remember the day Richard Hughes brought him into sort of like thing.
yeah.
You know what I mean? He brought him into sort of like Bournemouth. Richard Hughes brought him in.
Yeah,
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 brought
yeah.
him in. Right? Don't be surprised that he did that.
Mm.
But the best case scenario, if they went back to Klopp.
I
And
think
got,
Klopp
I
interim.
got Klopp.
Interim though.
I got Klopp at the day on a short-term
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
contract.
Yeah,
And
interim
Contract.
manager.
see it out till
Yeah,
Yeah,
the end of the season.
he
Yeah.
yeah.
not even to the end of the season, as long as it takes
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
to
yeah.
actually steady the ship, because it
Yeah.
might not take it to the end of the season. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Yeah,
yeah.
you know, but as long as it takes to steady the ship to get us back in that good place again. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then as I said, I'm talking about a good case scenario.
Yeah.
And then when he goes, he hands it over to Steven Gerrard.
Yeah.
He said, "Stevie, here it is, mate. I can't do any more. I can't do any more. I've done all I can. Here you go. I've got a ready-made team for you." And
Yeah.
Stevie Gerrard comes in and does a madness.
Mhm.
And does a madness. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the
Anyway,
only thing I can
Ozzy,
say.
Thank
Rods.
you, JP.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Hey,
pulling up,
big
bro.
up, man. I'll
Big up,
speak
my
to you. I'll
brother.
speak to you in a week. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Speak to
So
you in a
take
week.
care, guys. Big up,
Cool,
be
bro.
safe.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, leave,
Cool.
man.
Okay, let's just go through some of those comments here. And then we can close the show. So we've got Nav, big up Nav. He says Man U are above us by goal difference, and if Everton win, they go above us by goal difference. That is crazy.
I know,
That
innit?
is absolutely crazy. Delete Steve says, I think Oz still supports Slot, get out of it, man. Slot. And he said I'm slotting as well.
The Looney Steve's a
Steve,
troublemaker, He's a
Steve, you
troublemaker.
go watch. I think Steve logged on late. So Steve watched the beginning of the show.
No,
I'm not.
what it is? He's a troublemaker. He's a troublemaker. He's winding you
Funny
up.
guy. Funny guy. Bo, big up Bo. He says, get him out now. He has no identity or structure. Yeah, facts.
Thanks.
Facts indeed. What else do we have? You'll never walk along 73. Big up yourself. He says Paisley was our greatest manager who was known for his subs at the right time. Yeah, it's all about management. You've got to bring the players on at the right time, not just bring three subs on in the last 10 minutes thinking it's going to work. That's not how it is. You've got to be strategic with your substitutions as well. And I don't think, uh, there's so many weaknesses in the way he's coached this season. Like, that's why some of us are calling him a fraud because, he's not showing a high level of coaching right now, whether it's from a tactical point of view, man management, or just being a leader of this group. He's not doing neither of those jobs. So for me, this is why, myself, Uncle Rods, JP, and Fozzie, we've been quite vocal today. We're just had enough. We've hit the maximum now, and this is just not acceptable. So Liverpool need to find. I agree with you, Uncle Ross. I do think they are compiling a short list. They are coming out with a contingency plan to get someone on board. Just depends when they're going to activate that, because right now there's rumors saying that they're going to wait until end of December. But for me, that's too late. That's too late. December is that period of time where we play a lot of games. Feel like we need to get a coach in ASAP. If
The
West
thing is,
Ham is a defeat, then
They're
there's
locked
no
off.
coming back from that.
They're not going to wait till the end of December. You know what I
They
mean? Because
can't.
that's too many sort of like bad results to to have to actually wait. I solely feel in the West Ham game that's going to be it. He's going to get locked off. If he loses, and he can probably lose in a bad way, like 2 or 3-0, they're locking him off. They're locking him off. Because
Have
one
to.
thing about West Ham, once they get their ascendancy and they start scoring, they don't stop. They don't
Yeah.
stop. They lock him off. They will lock him off.
Has to be done. Has to be done. Michael says, who do you think wins the league? It's Arsenal for me. I think
Yeah,
Arsenal
it's
win
me,
the league.
Arsenal.
I agree. It's Arsenal. Steve says Nala has played his last game for the club. Unfortunately, I feel for the kid though, man. I feel
Yeah.
like even if it is his last game, if he moves on or whatnot, like that's always gonna be a sour kind of moment for him where he's
Mm.
made 2 appearances for the Reds and he's been sent off for both of those games. So
And
it's a bit of a
Amory,
shame. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame on his part. Uh, Toon Tor says other way round. Murphy made Isak look good. You bought a dud, and after the way you've been since, it's just dessert. So yeah, I
you
think
bought a dud, but you didn't want to sell him to us, did you? Because
yeah,
you're supposed to be this good player. Get out of it, man. Get out of it. You know what I mean? Get out of it.
exactly. They did everything in their power to try and
I
stop
mean,
him from making the move, but it
with your
didn't come
one
out that
league trophy, get out of it.
exactly. But yeah, well, Uncle Roz, appreciate you coming on the show.
Hey,
We'll link up
anytime, my
again
brother.
soon. Yeah, we'll link up soon. We'll do some more shows very, very soon.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely,
yeah,
definitely.
hopefully we'll be in better spirits. Maybe a new coach and maybe we'll get a win on the belt as well at some point. So yeah, appreciate you coming on today,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. No, no. Listen, then they Fuzzy said to me, talk about calling and shit. He goes, let's
Yeah,
get on and yeah, support him and for that. And this is all about in this space. So yeah, listen, I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate you having me
as
on.
always,
And
bro.
yeah, man, love and respect, and I'll catch you guys very, very soon. Take care, love and respect,
Take care,
man.
man.
Big up.
Take care, bro. I'm just gonna go through some of. I see a couple more comments. Come on now. Um, Double D says, "Big up, man, and big up yourself, Double D. I hope you're doing well." Ozan says, "Do we win in Champions League, my bros?" I don't know. In terms of the next game, it's a Dutch team, so he knows the Dutch teams inside out, I guess. So maybe he gets a dub there, but I don't know. I feel like the team is in such low confidence. I'm probably predicting a draw for that one, to be fair. The West Ham game worries me. As we were speaking with the guys earlier on, Nuno Espirito Santo is the manager, and he's the manager that defeated us last season. That gave Stott nightmares. It probably still gives him nightmares, to be fair. And he is that type of manager that is very much all about defense first. The team is set up to be compact, to be a collective defensive unit as a team. And Slot's told us we don't have solutions for teams like that. So that's going to be the game. I'm like, if we lose against West Ham, what's the point? What's the point of keeping on board? Like I'm done now, personally. Um, West Ham are 17th in the league, so they're lower than Forest right now. We've literally awarded Nottingham Forest pretty much a jump start because they're up the table now. If we were to gift West Ham that jump start as well, we've got to put on the brakes. We're not a charity case. We don't just give wins to the teams at the bottom. We got to look out for ourselves. And right now, I just can't see where win comes from. It's really, really weird to say that out loud because when you see our squad, so much talent, so much quality, but we're very disjointed as a team. We're not playing as a collective, and that's why I'm very, very concerned going forward. As I said, or does the losing streak continue? So I think the PSV match will be a draw. Because remember, he might rotate heavy for that one as well. That was the game in my eyes where Isak should have started rather than this game. And I feel like he's gonna do the polar opposite of what I want, and probably I'm sure a lot of the fans in the chat want as well. He's gonna start with Ekitike in that game, and then Isak starts at West Ham. It should have been the other way around because Isak is not fully fit. He needs to gain match fitness before he can even get close to regaining his sharpness in front of goal. If you're not fit, you're not going to be proactive inside the box. You need to have your energy levels to the max, to your capabilities. He's not there yet. So that's my concern. And the West Ham game, let me just double check, is that home or away? Quite frankly, it doesn't make a huge difference because the opposition will be the same. It's at West Ham. So I'll be honest with you, I'm not expecting us to win that game. I think we'll end up losing. And that's not me wanting us to lose so, Slot can go. But Slot has to show tactical tweaks. And so far, he hasn't. We've gone through a bit of a rut right now where we're losing a lot of games. And he's not showing anything. So nothing tells me that he's going to just change it now. Unless he's told from the hierarchy that, fix up, change tactics, do something different, otherwise you're out. That would be the only way that will get a reaction. But for me, he's not showing that at all. So I'm very, very concerned for our upcoming fixtures. Wayne says we can't feed our striker. I don't see us winning West Ham. That's facts, Wayne. During the game yesterday, I think there was only one moment where we gave Isak a free ball. And I was going crazy while watching him because it's the first time someone put the through ball. Like Isak is one of those strikers where he does have a great first touch. He can hold up the ball and all that sort of stuff. But his game to be effective, i.e., to score goals, is to play on the shoulder or to make runs in the channels. So you've got to spray those through balls to him, whether it's on in the wide areas or if you're creative enough to do it through the middle. That's what he feeds off. That is the service that he needs. And we're not playing to his skill set. Why buy these strikers or why buy these players and not play to their strengths? What's the point? It makes no sense to me as to why we're not doing that. Verts was brought in to unlock those stubborn defenses. But if you're not playing him or if you're not playing him to his position, how is he going to perform? How is that going to benefit the team? So for me, it's a huge, huge concern going forward. So look, he's still the manager. He will get my support to an extent, but I am very concerned, and I'm not confident about the way the team is going to play going forward under his leadership or under his tutelage. I don't see it now, and I feel like the players are that they've crashed out. They're just not there anymore. They're not in line with his vision or the way he wants the team to play because it's different to what they were doing last year. And not only that, you're not playing players in their natural positions or to their skill sets to allow them to flourish or to excel in his team. We're not doing that. So yeah, very, very concerned going forward. But that is it for today, guys. The show not being longer than planned, but hey, we're all here to have this discussion. I used it as a therapy session. So shout out to Fozzie, shout out to Uncle Roz, and shout out to JP for jumping on. I appreciate you guys coming on the show. Just gonna give a few shout outs just to show my appreciation for everyone that came on and made a comment. So shout out to Uncle Rods, Wayne, Nick, Double D, Alexander, Sui Long, Abdul Rahim, Rodrigo, Fozzie, Ozan Kabak, Musa, Lewis Kid, 1 p.m. Pitch Skills, something interesting. Maybe big up yourself. Shout out to Wayne. Shout out to Squiggle. Shout out to Costas. Shout out, who else do we have? To Bassi Command. Shout out to Terry. Shout out to Mr. Killers. Shout out to Nav Inferno. Shout out to Dragon Wolf. Shout out to JR Vibe. And I think that's it. And shout out to Delulu Steve as well. He's shamelessly telling me I'm slotting. I'm not slotting, my friend. I am slot out. And yeah, you heard me say it today. You heard me say it yesterday. And I haven't changed my tune. And shout out to You Never Walk Alone 73, Michael Johnson, and Cheeky coming from Tune Tour. But I appreciate you getting involved in the live chat as well. So yeah, appreciate everyone coming on. Wayne saying big up Ozzie and good show. Cheers, big up yourself, Lee. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. In terms of upcoming shows, I plan on doing a show tomorrow where we can talk about potential managerial candidates. I think it'll be a good chat to have. I'll present some names as well, so feel free to let me know, if they are someone you feel like could do a job for us, or which route are we going to go? Are we going to go for an interim manager, or is there someone out there that we can just, sign up and bring them on a permanent basis? We'll have that discussion tomorrow, and then on Tuesday we'll have the match preview of the Liverpool versus PSV game. We'll do the watch along, and then we'll do the match preview on Thursday of the West Ham versus Liverpool game as well. So yeah, lots of shows coming up. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know exactly what time I go live. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, and I hope to speak with you all very, very soon. Goodbye.